Oh, wow. Look at that pretty background. The spring training tour is beginning. It is 5 weeks of glory. Look how far we've come. AJ's a little bit cold in Arizona. Oh, man. Looks freezing out there. AJ in the tundra. And AJ, did you know that we also have a new sponsor to introduce, a title sponsor for the spring training tour? Oh, AJ's muted from the jump. Do you feel that too, Kratz? An empty seat. Hold on. We got to get AJ's mic back.
How about now?
Yep, you're good. You're good.
Let's go Fastenal. If you don't know what Fastenal is, Google it. If you need any fasteners, screws, metal, anything to help you with your hardware and put things together around the house, Fastenal's the spot. They do amazing stuff.
All right, we're going to fix AJ's mic, but it is the spring training tour, and it is engineered by Fastenal. Forget Google, go to Fastenal.com for more information, and let's check out that spring training calendar, which starts today. Royals camp. Then we hit Guardians camp tomorrow. We'll be with the A's on Thursday, Dodgers Friday. We will have weekend live shows. So that means Mariners on Saturday, Rangers on Sunday. We'll go over the rest of the schedule as we continue. The schedule's set, just for those that are listening, pod-wise, if you're in your car. I'm just not going to read 25 teams, going through this month and then next month as well. So just make sure you check it out at some point. We'll post it on socials as well for you to take a look. Okay, let's get right to Ken. Big news today. Special segment at the top here, the Inside Scoop with Ken Rosenthal. Breaking news this morning, Tony Clark is going to step down as leader of the Players Union. Ken, you broke the story along with Evan Drellick and Andy McCullough in The Athletic. I encourage everyone to keep checking out that story because it's updating. But what can you tell us about what you initially learned and how it's updated? Hold up real quick, Ken. Having a muting situation here. One sec. One moment here. Apologies, everyone on the tech. Not yet. Still working on it. We had him. We're on fire. We'll get it. Nope. We might have to get back to Ken.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, I got you, AJ.
While we're waiting on Ken, it's 60 degrees in Arizona. It looks sunny, but it's freezing. I'm sorry. The cold out here in Arizona is just the coldest cold of all time. Like 60 feels like it's like 30 degrees. And as nice as I love my foul territory quarter zip, foulterritoryshot.com, it's not really keeping me warm. Not going to lie. I got a little bit of the shivers.
Well, we'll work on that. Also working on Ken. I think, Ken, they're asking if you can either try again or unplug the mic. Let's see. Working on it, guys.
You got me?
Maybe on. Yes, we got you.
All
right, Ken. What do you know and how is things updated?
Okay, so you asked me what we first learned, and we first learned only that Tony Clark was expected to resign as head of the MLBPA. We still don't know the exact particulars, but we just updated our story, and what we said in the story is that Clark was facing growing concerns from players, that the executive subcommittee that's composed of 8 prominent players who kind of are the big-time body in the union. That executive subcommittee had been in contact with federal officials from the FBI, the Department of Justice, and evidently something happened in the last 24 hours or so where things changed. The union was expected to have a meeting and scheduled to have a meeting with the Cleveland Guardians today. That meeting suddenly was canceled last night. That is what got everyone's radar up. And of course, this is developing, as you said, Scott. So we don't know all the particulars yet. We don't know what this means regarding the FBI investigation into Clark and the union that was regarding licensing money and all of that. I'm sure we will know more shortly. And then, of course, we will talk about what this might mean for the collective bargaining agreement going forward. The CBA expires December 1st. We are all anticipating a lockout. That part doesn't change.
Ken, for the people that don't know, can you explain a little bit what you mean? Just to give people a little bit of background into the investigation that you talked about and stuff like that, just so people have an idea of kind of what started maybe all this. We honestly don't know, but what that means.
This investigation, I don't exactly remember when it started, AJ, but it was into both the MLBPA and the NFLPA. And there were allegations of some financial impropriety regarding licensing money. And I don't know exactly the particulars myself. I haven't been up on that, but that is what was going on. Now, for the longest time, what people with the union were saying and agents were saying is that they didn't expect this to lead anywhere, that Clark hadn't done anything wrong, etc. But obviously something happened here. And again, we don't know, AJ, the exact particulars, but for players to go to Clark, or at least raise these concerns with Clark, at some point he just decided, I'm not going to be a distraction here. I'm going to do what is best for the union and step down. At some point came in the last 24 hours or so. So again, I don't want to get too far into speculating what happened, but at the same time, clearly something went amiss here. Now, I don't know how much it regards or how much it stems from the investigation. I don't know if it's something else. These are things that we will learn in the coming hours and days.
Kratz?
Can you hear
now
me?
Kratz is
No.
muted. No, we got you. Yeah, we hear you.
Okay. What's next for the Players Association? What's the next step in the sense of, this is new news, so obviously they haven't made a change yet, but what is their next process to get a new executive director or to just continue without Tony?
They're meeting today, and obviously they need a new executive director. And when I say they are meeting, the union's board, the executive subcommittee, is meeting. My expectation is that they will simply name the lead negotiator, Bruce Meyer, the new executive director of the union. It's the easiest thing for them to do in this critical year of bargaining. It is probably the obvious course. Now, I don't know that for a fact. That's speculating, but at the same time, it would seem that's the way to go here. Now, they do have to name someone permanently. You can see they're going to have an interim leader, and that person will be chosen. And then at some point, they'll choose a permanent leader. And as Brent Suter told Sam Blum of The Athletic, we're not going to get a search going. There's bargaining here. We're going to have an interim and keep everything as stable as we can this year. That is why I'm saying Bruce Meyer is likely to be the guy, at least until this agreement is done or not done. He's going to be the guy, it would seem, and then they'll have to figure some things out. I'm sure they'll have to figure some other things out too as we go along here. This is an incredibly jarring development for the union. And I know fans are asking, and I'm getting asked this by a lot, even by people in the game, will this help or hurt the chances of a work stoppage not occurring? And to me, it's not going to necessarily help. The owners are going to do what they're going to do. The players are going to react how they're going to react. Tony Clark was not simply the only person in the union saying we don't want a salary cap. It's the entire union saying that. So clearly, when you have your leadership in disarray, that's a problem. No one would deny that. But at the same time, do I expect the union's positions to change at all? No, I do not.
Ken, you kind of said this is a defining moment or a big moment for the Players Association. My question is did anyone see this coming? Because players, I'm in Royals camp, and I've talked to players here. We saw Suter come out, Marcus Semion's come out, and both have said, we had no idea. We learned on Instagram, or we learned from Ken Rosenthal and Evan Drellick when they posted this for The Athletic. So just explain the magnitude of how shocking that this is, that in a negotiating year, the first day when the Players Association goes around and meets with the teams, which with people at home, they go around and meet with each team in spring training. They usually hand out your licensing checks. Now this year they're probably withholding almost all of it because of the ongoing labor strife that could or could not happen, just so they have like a war chest developed. Just explain the magnitude of this, because I even went on X and was like, holy crap, this is a huge deal, especially with the timing of it. So explain just how large this is.
It's large. And it's especially large, as I said, because of the timing, AJ. We are months away from where the negotiations would probably begin in earnest. And when the union loses its leader, think of it from MLB's perspective. If Rob Manfred suddenly stepped down, it's kind of the equivalent of that. Now, that said, it's going to be really interesting to see how the union reacts. And I am sure, and Brent Suter said this morning, and others are going to say this as well, that they feel they're going to come out of this stronger, that they will somehow unite and kind of reinforce to each other what this is all about for them. Again, that's true. I'm sure it is true that they will talk like that and they may even believe that. But when you have your leadership in disarray, there's no question that it is a problem, and that is where they are. They've got to get that figured out first. I imagine they will in relatively short order. But AJ, when you're asking how big this is, there's no question it's big. And it's true also, as you mentioned, that players were shocked and people were shocked by this today. This was a stunning development because no one really did see it coming. We've known he was under investigation by the FBI. That has been out there for quite some time now. But it did not seem, at least from the outside, that the investigation was proceeding in a meaningful fashion to the point where he would be the subject of an indictment. There has not been an indictment issued. So, again, I want to stress this. I'm not exactly sure what happened here, but I will repeat. He was facing growing concerns from players, and the players have been in contact, their executive subcommittee, with federal officials. Something came to a head.
What is Major League Baseball's view of Bruce Meyer as a negotiator? Is it a contentious view? Is it something that if he steps into this role, he was a negotiator in the last CBA, but if he steps into this role as interim or whatever, is this a good relationship or is it a little butting of heads?
Butting of heads. I don't know that MLB loves negotiating with Bruce Meyer, and I don't know that Bruce Meyer loves negotiating with MLB. And it was a tough negotiation the last time. And if you remember, the executive subcommittee voted to reject that deal. Again, that's that 8-player committee that kind of stands at the head of the union. And then the general player population voted to approve it. Bruce Meyer is going to represent their interests, I'm sure, one way or the other. And he is a tough negotiator. That is his job, to be a really tough negotiator. So I don't know that MLB sees him as someone who is going to be easy to deal with. I would say it's just the opposite.
Ken, I know that everyone's coming out saying it's not going to change anything. He wasn't the only guy on, but it has to change something, right? It still has to change something, right? I know Bruce has been doing a lot of the negotiating, and a lot of the people under Tony are staying the same. But anytime I can't even explain this to people at home. Like, Michael Weiner was the guy before Tony Clark. You had Don Fear, and then you had Michael Weiner, right? Michael Weiner passed away from brain cancer, which is a horrible story. Tony took over, and those were shocking. When Don Fear stepped down, it was shocking. Michael Weiner, then Tony Clark takes over. Now we don't know in a negotiating year. I just can't explain how important. And you can say, oh, it's not going to change anything. It's changing something, okay? So that's it. That's my comment. It sucks for the Players Association because now, in a time when they should be more united than ever, not only are they fighting a battle in the PR, they're fighting a battle against the owners. Now they have to find a new leader. So there's just a lot happening in a time when you're supposed to be like this.
AJ, there's no question. Now, is it possible they do come out better for it if Tony Clark was doing things that were unethical, illegal, whatever the case might be? Of course it is. And of course, that could ultimately lead them to a better place. There's no doubt about that. But at the same time, we don't know exactly what was going on. And you're right, they are scrambling now. And they're scrambling at a time when they should not be scrambling. Now, they also have been aware of this investigation for months. As I said, the executive subcommittee was in contact with federal officials. So from that perspective, they could not have been that surprised. They certainly were surprised by the timing. But it's not as if this is something that came out of nowhere. That investigation's been going on. We've all been aware of that. It's just that we were not aware that this was going to come to a head anytime soon. So, AJ, you're absolutely right. And as I said before, and I'll repeat it again, this is the equivalent of Manfred stepping down from the owner's side, from Major League Baseball side. Tony Clark was the head of the union. There's no sugarcoating that. That's who he is and was. So, again, players are meeting later today. There's going to be more to come with this. But the only thing I would caution fans and people about is the idea that somehow this is going to make a lockout less likely. No. a lockout is coming. How this affects the players' views, I'm not sure that really will be impacted either, because simply put, the players are fairly strong, at least right now, as the owners are fairly strong, at least right now, in where they are. Now, ultimately, without their leader, how does that all play out? We'll see.
I saw the end of Donald Fuhr's time. I saw the short period that Michael Weiner was there, the way that they spoke, the way the lawyers, it was my first introduction into it. Then I played pretty much through Tony's entire time as executive director. How are we going to look back at his time as executive director of the union? Successful? Unsure? We'll see where this ends up going this time.
Well, this is going to be his legacy, or at least part of it. What happened here and is happening here today, that he ultimately stepped down for reasons that we will find out about in short order. I don't know that he will be viewed in retrospect as a great leader of the union. Don Fuhr was a great leader of the union. Michael Weiner was a great leader until he got sick. His last CBA was not as good as some of the others had been. Tony Clark presided over a couple of CBAs, if I'm not mistaken, that were criticized heavily. The last one, I thought they did okay, but there's some things that they aren't getting back and haven't gotten back. So, Eric, you're asking me this at a time when the story is still kind of developing, and I don't really have a great feel yet for how he'll be regarded. But someone mentioned to me this morning that this resignation, this sequence of events, will be part of his legacy, part of his enduring legacy. And that ultimately might be what defines his time with the union. We will see.
Ken, just a couple more at the finish line here, because we also did get Tarek Skubal chatting at Tigers camp, kind of alluding to, it seemed like, how he said Tony's been the face of the PA in terms of negotiating. I'm still as confident as ever in Bruce and everyone else we've got behind him. Again, kind of talking as if they're going to make Bruce Meyer the next guy in charge. So two more here at the finish line. One is, do you think that there's any concern that if Tony Clark, eventually gets in trouble for doing something that hurt the players union, that they need to figure out a better strategy going forward of, I don't know, checks and balances, or just making sure that something like this doesn't happen? Because we've seen this happen in other unions lately too.
Yes, there is definitely, I would say, that feeling among players right now that they needed to take care of some things. They needed to find some things out. They needed to go in a different direction going forward. And from that perspective, if indeed they learn from this, and if indeed there are some things that they can clean up, correct, whatever the case might be, then yes, it ultimately will be a positive.
Ken, appreciate the time. We'll bring it to the players here for the rest so you can get back to your thing. Everyone, please check out The Athletic and Ken's article as it'll get updated, probably again as we learn more about this story. Ken, thank you. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
All right, we'll bring it here for a moment because I want to get your guys' take before we move on. The one thing I'll say is, just talking to people this morning, agents, players, et cetera, around the game, it does seem pretty clear that they're all like, stance isn't going to change. Even though Tony's in charge, they're like, he represents us. And even if there are tons of players involved and they disagree on things, the thing that I actually learned just getting deeper in combos this morning too, is they were like, I know there's all this talk about cap publicly. They're like, most of the players are like, we're going to go hard as hell. We're not even thinking about that. That's just an easy no. And it's like, okay, let's just move on to the other issues that we want to settle. So just wanted to get your take, AJ, with how you think this is going to change things. Some people think it'll change it drastically, but even from my conversations, it almost feels like they could have someone in place where there's more trust. It's not someone that's going to be under a federal investigation, whether it's someone like Bruce or others that are helping him as well. And also they might be galvanized by something like this. Obviously, I'm getting this from a side that's involved in conversations, but curious for your thoughts. There won't be as many outside distractions when they're dealing with MLB.
Yeah, no, I agree. But hopefully it does galvanize them, because they don't have any other choice really but to galvanize at this point. And people say, oh, it's 9 months away, 7 months away, 8 months away till the December 1st end of the CBA. But a lot of this negotiating has kind of started a little bit behind in the back channels, but you're also putting your team together to where you want them together, right? And now you lose a guy that sat in all those meetings, talks to the players, was a player. I hope it galvanizes the union. And listen, for all the people out there that say you have to have a salary cap, you have to have a salary cap. Why do you have to have a salary cap? Why? I just don't. I don't understand why that's such a must, because it's not a must and it doesn't solve everything. There's a bunch of articles. Evan Drellick wrote an article. I forget who Mark sent the article about of a 240 and a 160, and it walks through it and what happens with injuries and this and that and yada yada yada. I mean, there's a lot of smart people that have done a lot of research on this. I just don't know that it's an end all be all. I know they want it to be, but I don't know that it fixes everything that people are going to complain about. And until someone can give me a 100% reason and tell me why this is good, because obviously I'm a player, I'm going to come at it from a player's side, why this is good for players, then I'm going to say the players are going to fight this till the end of days, and it's going to be tough and it's going to suck, and hopefully we don't miss baseball in 2027. But yes, Will Carroll wrote the article. Sorry. So make sure that if you can read Will Carroll's article, it's great on it. Evan Drellick wrote a great piece on a cap and a floor. So I don't know. I hope it works out, but man, this is just one more thing that just doesn't give you good vibes.
I'm not going to sit here and negotiate a cap or no cap or anything like that, but I'm going to say the reason we have the CBA is so that one side doesn't take advantage of the other side. I hope whatever the next step is after Tony resigns here, is that the union and Major League Baseball can get together and do what's best for baseball. Because ultimately the game is played by players, watched by fans, and owned by owners. And all three entities need to appreciate and enjoy what comes out of this CBA. I feel like during my time as a player, it was always such we gotta fight these guys. We gotta fight. I think what some other leagues sometimes do is they come together and they work in certain areas that work better for everybody. And I think this is 50% players, 50% owners. Everybody needs to come together, because I think when that happens, the entire game changes. When owners say, you know what, we want to put the best product out on the field because we are the best baseball league in the world. Not, well, we're the biggest business that we can possibly get out of baseball. No, put the best league out there, most competition, most competitiveness. And I don't believe that's in the salary cap. I also don't believe it's in teams that spend $78 million in one season. So there's a lot going on up here at the top where, stop spending. But there's not a lot of talk about win. And it's a sport, not necessarily a business. So we need to get together. We need to combine each other's wants and dislikes to make the game better. So that's what I hope comes out of this, the next step.
I just want to make sure, though, also, we'll have plenty of time to talk about that stuff. The league clearly does not punish teams if they're not trying. Like that whole, but that's a separate conversation. Right now, the news today is just that someone else is going to have to negotiate. There's also 100 other things usually to negotiate.
Scott, by the way, I want people to know, because there's people in the chat saying, you don't care about the fans. I do care about the fans at all. But it's the system we have right now, right? And it's the owner's choice to raise ticket prices and to raise this and make this and take away TV deals and take the players. The players just want to play and get paid what somebody's willing to pay them and their fair value, right? So it's not about like, I don't care about the fans or whatever. I care about the fans. Fans are what make us famous and make baseball players get their money. So I 100% care about the fans. I hope this works out. I'm just saying that a salary cap and a salary floor is not an end-all be-all.
Yep, and we'll have plenty of time to talk about that stuff. But for now, we'll let you know if we get any other news on what's going on with whoever's leading the charge to try and make sure that baseball is being played in 2027. That would be nice, because that's what we care about. All right, we're at Royals camp, so let's get things rolling. First up, ready to go. We got to go with the guy that I think is really the voice of the team, because he's got the personality to go with it. So let's get going.
Hey, we're here with the Pasquatch, Vinnie Pasquantino, here at Royals camp, and you've been here for 3 weeks as he waves to
Michael Garcia right there in the flesh.
All-Star, by the way,
All-Star.
who I pined for the entire first half
Yep.
to make the All-Star team. You got here, what'd you say, 3 weeks ago?
3 weeks ago, yeah.
Because why?
2 reasons. 1, WBC. 2, trying to learn how to hit in April. So figured getting outside in warm weather would be a way to do it.
Is there any trash talking between Team Italy and Team USA in your locker room?
Not yet.
You and Witter have go running back and forth?
No, we live together, so we haven't had too much yet. I'm sure as we get closer, we will. But no, not yet. I don't know if that's a massive rivalry.
Do you guys fly? You guys are both in Houston, right?
Yeah, we're both.
So
we
you guys
play each
fly
other
together to Houston? You and Jack? And
Jack and I will fly together.
Ragans?
Bob can take care of himself. No, Team Italy, we're flying all as a team, which will be good. So we've got a workout on March 2nd. We've got a game against the Cubs March 3rd, a game against the Angels March 4th, and then we head out. So it's getting close.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You guys start games when here?
Well, the first real game is like March 7th, but then
No. I meant the Royals.
Friday.
Holy crap.
Yeah, Friday. But I've been here for 3 weeks, so.
Does that matter? Does that matter that you've been there for 3 weeks? Like, have you been getting the work in, or are you like, I should have stayed home? Like, I need my time at home.
No, it's been good because the weather. Nashville, the weather got so bad right before I left. It was good motivation to get out. So it was. I think I've gotten 14 at bats so far, which has been nice. So just try to get as much live pitching as humanly possible. Get off the trajectory machine. Do whatever we can to get some timing down, and then see what happens once the games start.
You know it's different.
Yeah, I know it's different, especially with no reports. Guys are working on stuff. It's definitely different, but you got to do something. You got to make changes.
Yeah, but it's still like, I don't know. I always like spring training. It was either really good or really bad for me.
There's no in between.
And then the season started, and it was like everything you worked on, everything just completely went away, and you're just like, all right, I got to go.
It's true. It is insane how much different it is when pitchers are trying to get you out versus just working on stuff.
How many bats have you broken in those 14?
0. I'm not a massive bat breaker.
Are you a tracker? Or are you a swinger?
No, I swing. I'll swing. I haven't swung at the first pitch yet, but we've gotten some good swings off, and no broken bats just yet. I've been rotating 3 bats in, get them all broken in, and yeah, I like that there's no broken ones yet.
So you didn't answer. The 14 at-bats. How have you done? Because people are making their fantasy draft picks right now. How have you done? Because either way, the Royals pitching either sucks or they're nasty, and you're going to have a great season.
It's been good. It's been good. I've gotten beat a few times. I've done some damage a few times, so I'm not giving you an answer there, Kratz. Nice try. Our pitchers are awesome, but so are our hitters.
When you get a hit, does the Sasquatch come out of like the left field out there and walk around?
Yeah, he's in spring training too, so he's got to work on his game. He's got to get in shape. So although it's not as hot, so it's probably more comfortable for him right now, especially if the temperature could stay where it's at today.
No kidding. We saw Michael Garcia walk by. Is he different now that he's rich?
I don't know. He just got here, so we're.
He just got here like now,
like 3 or 4 days ago. So we're still testing those waters, but he's been awesome.
And, do you have to buy spreads when a
guy
signs a contract like that? What happens?
The problem is Bobby's got a larger one, so it's still on Bobby. It was actually smart by Michael to do it for that amount of money, because then Bobby still takes care of everything. At least we make him take care of everything.
Yeah.
So
does Bobby complain though?
But Lugo is actually the breadwinner of the clubhouse this year. So
really,
so it's going to be on Lugo to take care of everybody. I'm sure he's excited about that.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Whoa! I mean, don't act like everyone else is getting paid. Like this is royal family. You got broke off a little bit of something too now, huh?
Yeah, I did. So we didn't have to go into a room. That was cool. Being able to get a 2-year deal done. That was good. So we're happy about that. And yeah, it's nice to be off the rookie contract, but we're worried about winning ball games now.
Now there's expectations, though.
100%.
Now, every time you strike out, some fan's gonna yell, "But Vinny, we pay you.
Yeah, exactly.
You signed a 2-year deal.
I know.
You stink. You're not living up to it."
Imagine when I grounded to some double plays.
That's right. Exactly.
Oh
just
my God,
wait.
if I grounded to some double plays, it's going to be insane. But hey, that's okay. I'll take it. I'll take that kind of pressure.
Expectations are a terrible thing, Vinny.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
when I was go ahead, Scott.
Vinny, I want to get your take on the rules that are getting laid out. We've already known about the core of ABS challenge system But I want to get your take on any of the intricacies that we're learning. And then also, I'd like to get your thoughts on the coaches staying in the box. Let's actually start there. So did you see that rule where the first and third base coaches have to stay in the box? I'm sure the team already probably went over that, or, what the process is for anything new that the league brings to the table.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's multiple ways to answer this question. It's going to eliminate – I know pitchers are happy because it's going to eliminate some things that have happened within the game that, I don't know, maybe have lent to some areas where coaches are able to tip off pitches. And now they have to stay in the box. I've got a pretty good relationship with most of the first base coaches, so I'm really excited.
Do you watch them?
This year,
did you watch them before?
No, I didn't care. But you would pay attention to, like, okay, if you're facing a certain team, if the guy starts moving or if he stays still, do I need to, like, there's different things like that to checks and balances to make sure our pitchers are protected, that they're not doing anything. Maybe try to talk to them a little bit more, get them, because you kind of know who's doing stuff based off of how much they talk to you. If they're not talking to you at all when there's nobody on base, there's probably something
sneaky
going on there. So, but I'm going to be all over the umpires, be like, hey, make sure he's in the box, which will be fun. So I'm going to more take it as a fun thing. I mean, I never understood why there were boxes if you don't have to stand in them anyway. What's the best chirps I ever heard were in rookie ball. It was my first ever professional series. Chris Widger was our manager, and he wasn't in the box, and the fans in Bristol, Tennessee were letting him have it. It was insane. They were just, get in the box. Like, I mean, it was so funny. There was more that they said that I can't say here, but it was so good. And then the ABS, I don't know. What are the rules with it? Like, what do you mean the intricacies with the strike zone?
Just like learning it. Just like learning the ABS. Who's going to challenge? Are you allowed? Because you don't make as much as Witt. Are you going to be allowed? Do you know where the upper corners are? All that stuff.
Yeah.
Or haven't you?
No, I mean, the easiest answer is no, because even on the backfields, we have a TrackMan strike zone, which is more of a consistent strike zone than ABS. And I don't mean that as ABS is bad. I just mean ABS changes towards your height, but the TrackMan that we have doesn't. So I don't know. I don't know how it's going to go. It's weird because I think you would naturally think older guys should get the challenges, but I think I might have a different mindset of that, where I think guys who have used it before should probably be the ones to challenge, because the guys coming up now know the strike zone better than I've ever seen, just because they've been doing this zone for 2 years now, I think. So they've been training it. So they have the best idea. I think it's similar to when I was coming up, the pitch clock was going and all the older guys were complaining about it. And I was sitting there saying, this is going to be amazing. You hear pitchers talking about how they're going to get away from, the first year with the pitch clock, how pitchers kept trying to do crazy things to try to mess with it. And that's kind of gone away because it's more just, okay, we're just playing baseball, just do it in a more timely manner. I'm hoping that this will happen with ABS, but I just don't feel like I'm able to give an opinion on it because I've never done it. We did it in spring last year. I think I used it twice. I think I like it in the fact that it takes away the egregious call. But I'll be curious to see how the technology works and making sure, everything is good. But I'm excited about it. I think change can be good.
All right, couple things. One, what'd you measure in at? Did you get measured?
I don't know. I think it's tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
But that's one thing.
Judge was like 6'7", and then he went down to like 6'5". So did you like scrunch? Are you going to scrunch down a little bit?
Well, that's what I am confused about, because with 2 strikes, I squat down more, but I'm assuming my zone won't change.
That's going to be a problem.
So I there's almost a part of me that wishes they would just do a standard strike zone, and it's just like,
but you and Altuve.
But I know that would be the thing. It's like, but at least he could train it.
Yeah,
he could
learn it. He'd have to swing a ball 100%. Like up here.
It probably doesn't work, but then everybody could train it if it was one strike zone. It would be the same, and it would just be one of those things.
Does it go off your batting stance? Because, like, if you're the guy that squats down, like Pete Rose used to be all squat, and his strike zone was smaller than. I'd
love to get the old guys' takes on the strike zone. I'm gonna ask George when I see him what he thinks
George
about.
Will tell you great.
Those guys like nothing. I think that's just a part of. I think it's a part of getting older, as you like.
One day
less
you'll
and
be
less
the old
things.
retired guy. You'll understand.
I can't wait. I mean, I'll do it with the guys in the minor leagues. Be like, man, like playing in Bristol, Tennessee, you never had to do that. You never had to play at a high school field with chicken wire as the locker. So that's my old man thing. But yeah, it's good. I think it'll be net positive.
I played in Bristol, by the way. Mid pitch, the lights went out on the whole field.
Perfect.
They had to cancel the game.
That's great.
Mid pitch, whoop! The lights out.
I remember walking up to that place for my first game. I'm like, this is what I signed up for, huh?
Yep. Pro ball. Welcome to pro ball. All right. And the last thing for on the ABS for me is, did you see where they're not on TV? Because on TV, like we have the little Fox box and it puts the dot and it changes colors if it's a strike or a ball. They're going to take that away because they don't want you people in the dugout or in the replay people having the advantage. But I don't understand. It's delayed anyway, so I don't understand the advantage or disadvantage to that.
This is a win for my father. Big win. He hates the strike zone on TV.
Why?
Because he just thinks it's dumb because it's, and I agree with him in the fact that it's not correct.
Yeah, like we know that, but still, it's cool for the fans. Are like, that's a strike, that's a ball. You know?
Yeah, but it's not cool because then they think. You said hold up.
Yeah, because I think you're teeing it up wrong, AJ. The box is still there. They're just not going to indicate if it's ball or strike.
Yeah,
that's what I was.
Oh, the box will still be there.
Yeah, but
I just don't want Vinny to go down this whole road of his dad being upset that there's no box, but there is still a box.
I think we played the Mets a few years ago, and they use like a tiny little dot that is not the size of a baseball. So I don't even know how they come up with the sizes of the dots that they use. Like I know I'm being a jerk, but I don't know. Is there even a definition of a strike zone in the rule book? Like
it's supposed to be the bottom of the knees,
midway point,
in the somewhere up in here. But the thing is, that's why,
midway point between your shoulders and your hips.
Did you have a big strike zone in live at bats? Like when you were catching, when you would call strikes and everything. But what about when you were hitting?
Well, I swung at everything, so it didn't matter.
We always joke around that like Freddie Fermin, who was here last year, who's with San Diego now, he has a massive strike zone when he's catching, but when he's hitting, nothing is a strike.
Of course.
Nothing is a strike.
Catchers
but now we have the technology. Like yesterday, I was facing Alex Lang, and Sal wasn't catching. He was behind me, and there was a changeup right below the zone, and Sal wanted to strike it. It was 1-0. But it said ball, so I'm sitting there thinking, well, I think I should get rewarded for a good stop. And Sal's like, no, it's a strike, and I said, no, that's a ball. Like, what are we doing here? But it's live at bat, so it doesn't really matter. But it does matter.
We used to have a big thing where you didn't want to wear your pants up because that gave the umpires where your knee was, right? Because everyone wore them right. So that was if you were taller, you wanted to wear longer pants so they couldn't tell where the bottom of the strike zone was.
I used to have that theory playing first base that if I wore my pants down and I would stretch for a ball, the umpire would think that I was coming off the base because they'd see the pant move.
Wow.
I've gotten over that one because I look so bad with my pants up. I look so fat with my pants up. It's actually insane.
Yeah, fat people should not wear their pants
never.
up.
I did it once or a few times in 2024. I think last year was the only year I've never not worn my pants up. No wonder I had a pretty good year. So because of that.
Last one. Last time you were on, we discussed the whole striker ball from your pops. How did the live at-bats go? Obviously, my opinion, he was probably wearing you out too much, and that's why you came down to Arizona early because you were sick of getting beat by Pops. But a lot of people want to know how it ended up going the rest of the offseason.
The weather got so bad, we never got to do it again. So we weren't able to get outside. So he wins the offseason, which is tough for me. Walking away a loser, but I'll see him in Atlanta for opening series. Maybe we'll get in a cage somewhere and
I'll be there.
You'll be there?
Yeah.
Perfect. Maybe you could be the umpire.
Oh, I would freaking love that. Yeah. I love that. that.
We have a Fox game to start the season, right?
Saturday. Yeah.
Oh, it's Saturday? Perfect.
I'll be there for you guys.
The Royals, national TV. See that?
Opening
Fox.
weekend.
Yeah.
Are you
got the Pierzynski game.
I sure hope so.
Ooh, a little sale-itis?
Yeah, that looks fun.
The Pierzynski game they call it.
I don't know. I saw an article that came
in front of you.
Normally, Bobby's been hitting in front of me for years.
Okay, so just so you know this, if Bobby goes deep off Sale, like the first at bat, so when I caught Sale when he first came up, if a righty went deep and the next hitter was a lefty, I had to call a slider because the next pitch, no matter what, was because he was so mad that he would just, and I'm like, I'm sorry. I just want you to know this hopefully doesn't hit you in the head.
Yeah.
And he'd be so mad. I think he's gotten over that a little bit, but he used to just,
hey, anytime you could take your OBP points, you take them, I think. So that's why we have the face guards. That's why we have the face guards. Protect the face. You never know what'll happen. So
what did the article say that you were talking about? They put the lineup out already before you guys had it?
Q gave an interview, and he apparently mentioned that I might hit leadoff a few times this year, which would be amazing.
OBP.
Just got to get it up a little bit more, and then we can make it happen.
And then Espy.
Mike Moustakas is walking over here right
Moose.
now. Look
Yeah.
at him.
We got a
All right,
Moose sighting.
go say hi to Moose. We're going to let him run. Vinny's got a busy day. Vinny, great to see you and great to catch up as always. We'll chat soon.
Guys. Thanks.
All right, we got the Warby Parkers. I got the Raiders. But one thing I upgraded to, polarized. Sorry about it.
Yeah, these are good, not only for wearing, but also out in the sun. When I become that baseball coach, I always want to be with my kids. I got the Hatchers. They're darker, a little bit wider for my face. They fit perfect. They're comfortable. It's an easy process to order these really, really cool glasses.
I am a diehard Warby Parker fan. I do have prescription glasses, and I wear Warby Parker every day for many years. I'm excited about this one. Give it a shot. Warby Parker gives you quality and better looking prescription eyewear at a fraction of the going price. Our listeners get 15% off plus free shipping when they buy 2 or more pairs of prescription glasses at warbyparker.com/foul. That's 15% off when you buy 2 pairs of glasses at warbyparker.com/FOUL. After you purchase, they will ask you where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them Foul Territory sent you.
Royals camp here with Jac Caglianone, the biggest UAB Blazer fan I have met in a long time, since he had to wear a Blazers hat on Saturday since the Blazers took down Kratz's Florida Gators Friday night in the opening game of the season. So welcome, Mr. UAB.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Now, we already talked off the air, and everyone that knows I'm a Florida fan. I actually said you should have went 1-1. I couldn't figure out why you didn't go 1-1 in the draft. I was pumping him up for, 2 years? Kratzy, right?
Rightly so. Rightly so. I want to hear why he didn't, but anyway, go ahead. Go, AJ.
But Friday night, my son caught against his Florida Gators, took him down, and Tolbert had you – I guess you guys had a bet. Had you – the pictures were all over the gram and Twitter. How did that feel?
Definitely wasn't my best moment, for sure. T walks on the field. He has a Blazers hat in his hand. He's like, come on. He put me in front of my locker, made me put the hat on, posted it on a story.
Wow. All right. So before we get into it, you went to Florida. We mentioned it. I thought the White Sox were going to draft you. You're in Kansas City now. Why didn't you go 1-1? Did anyone tell you? Because I obviously watch I've known Sully for 30 years, right? Kevin O'Sullivan, the coach of the Gators. All he did was hype you up. I watched every one of your games. My family thinks that I have a crush on you because they think it's hilarious. I even text them, and my daughter just texts back, "Oh, you won't be able to speak. Kratz already got on you." Before we went on the air, so I couldn't figure it out because I know Bridgie, the guy who drafted you, very well, and I talked to him about it. He said, "Best power I've ever seen. Great athlete, makes adjustments." I mean, the Royals are happy to have you, and you ended up in a great place because you got to the big league so quick. But did anyone give you any indication why you? I don't want to say slid, but
No, to be honest with you, I had no idea. I mean, I'm sure you remember the day of the draft, how hectic that was.
Yeah, but see, mine was different. We didn't have MLB Network, we didn't have Twitter, we didn't have nothing. I had a cordless phone, right? They called, and I'm like, "Hello? Yes, this is the Twins. We drafted you 70th overall." "Okay, Scout will be in touch. He'll call you next week. Thanks." Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, I mean, it was just a lot of back and forth with my agents and everything like that. And, it was one of those where it's in God's hands. And I think I'm right where I'm supposed to be. I'm happy to be here with this organization. And, they've been nothing but awesome so far. So I'm happy with me sliding.
I wouldn't call it exactly that, but yeah.
Sliding 5 whole spots down to number 6. Yeah, good for you. Glad it worked out. Since we're hitting on college, now that you're here, now that you've arrived in the big leagues, I know you haven't hit as well as you wanted to yet, but you went through a little bit of the minor league stuff. Do you still wish you pitched, or do you watch the pitchers and go, "Oh man, their lives suck. They don't do anything"?
I mean, I'd be lying if I said I didn't miss it, for sure. I feel like that was such a huge part of my game, in college and everything like that. I focused, honestly, more on the pitching side than I did on the hitting side, and I think it kind of freed me up mentally to not really think when I was hitting. So to go through, the first year of pro ball, really just focusing on hitting and starting to break down swing patterns, swing pass, and stuff like that. It was all new to me, So college is different. Guys usually just have 2 pitches. You can really just eliminate one of them. And then you get up here and you have guys like Seth Lugo with 8 pitches, and it gets definitely a little tougher. But now having guys like Vinnie, the way he breaks down the game, he sees the game a little bit differently. It's been great to work with him and kind of see his insight on it.
Watching how everything that you have to go through in the big leagues, even in the minor leagues, like preparing for a game, does it make you more in awe or just shocked by what Ohtani can do? Because your level, people might not know you're left-handed and you threw 100 miles an hour left-handed. So you sit there and you go, okay, well, this guy should be able to throw in the big leagues. But does it give you a different sense, or is there still just a little bit like, I'd like to throw an inning or 10 appearances out of bullpen for the boys?
I saw you pitch. Say no. I saw you pitch your last year. Say no.
I can't say no. Obviously what he does it's special. I mean, nobody's doing it. That's why he's, one of the best players in the world right now. And, to have the opportunity to, I mean, I've joked with Q a couple times on the bullpen days, and I was like, hey, if the bullpen needs it, I used to throw back in the day and was kind of messing around with him, and didn't go anywhere, obviously. But
by the way, just go like this and show everybody.
I mean, it's still there.
Yeah, I mean,
but we're good. We're good.
Kratzy, here's what I don't think most people know is he was actually recruited as a pitcher more than a hitter, and then he had to have his arm surgery. So then they were like, hey, why don't you try hitting middle of your junior year? And he just started mashing, and then they're like, oh, yeah, you could be pretty good as a hitter also. So he actually was you were actually more of a pitcher.
Yeah, slowly. I still give him fits for it all the time. He told me I had 2-way, and then when I got to campus, had TJ as soon as I got there. He told me that I was just going to pitch and, do the hitting progression and stuff with TJ, and next thing you know, he's like, yeah, you should come on this Vandy trip, take some BP, start getting into the swing of things, and a week later, I was in the lineup and never left.
Yeah, Kratz. By the way, I don't mean this mean at all, but I watched you pitch your last year. Just hit. You just hit. I mean, you could come in because just hit. I mean, listen, I don't mean that rudely. I couldn't pitch either. But
the command will come.
The command will come. At what point?
Well, when you actually work on it instead of I was a thrower. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. I was a thrower. But if I actually had all the data that they have nowadays,
I think you could pitch?
I think I could,
but you couldn't do both.
I think I could do both.
You think yes. You could do both big league level?
I mean, we don't know. We haven't tried it yet.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Don't let him convince you. Don't let him convince you. No, Dude, Jack, you can do it. You can do it. Trusting in it. Very few dudes throw from the left side like you. Yes, you didn't throw as many strikes as you would like, but you know what? You can figure that out, right?
Exactly. Take a little bit off. Be 95 instead of 100.
Hey, listen. I mean, you faced the two-handed guy, right?
Gerangelo.
Yeah.
Yes. He only threw righty, though.
Really?
When we played him, yeah.
He didn't throw both-handed?
Mm-mm.
They made him a right-hander. They just traded him, too.
Yeah.
I mean, you see how hard that is. Now, you mentioned Shohei. Imagine what Shohei does. He hits 50 homers, and he goes out and pitches, throws 100.
Yeah. Sub-4, 50 homers is a pretty dang good year.
I think the Royals would be happy if you just hit 50. What are you looking forward to this year? Now that you've had some time under your belt, you had some struggles. Nobody comes up here, and there are very few. I shouldn't say nobody. I mean, even Mike Trout had to go through some growing pains. Everyone kind of goes through a little bit of growing pains when they get to the major leagues. Very few people just get here and just explode on the scene and never have a little bit of a downtime. What did you learn from what you went through last year? Because I would assume that's probably the first time in your life you ever had any kind of struggles.
It was. I mean, growing up always was what I'd like to think one of the better players on the team and stuff like that, as most major league players are. But yeah, last year was definitely one of those. I'm not trying to put too much weight into it, to be honest with you.
That's good.
It's tough in the moment for sure because everybody wants to come up and have success, but to go through the levels and have really good success and kind of get socked in the mouth up there and taking this offseason to kind of take a step back, realize what I've learned, what worked, what didn't. But the biggest thing for me was kind of going back to what got me there, honestly. I feel like I kind of fell down rabbit holes when things weren't going well. I was still hitting balls hard, but had nothing to show for it, and thought it was swing, thought it was a plethora of other things. And having that offseason to kind of take a step back and recalibrate, get the mind right and everything like that kind of opened me up for this year.
How could minor league baseball have prepared you more for the big leagues? Because a lot of people are like, the minor leagues is now, especially in AAA, it's just not the same competition. I'm not throwing shade to any of those guys. I spent a ton of time in the minor leagues, but it's just not the same level at all. How could you have prepared differently if you were to go back to the beginning of last year when you had to go to the minor leagues, which, if people don't know, you dominated?
Honestly, for me, it'd probably just to be the quality of contact. Like Omaha, our AAA, you're clipping balls at 84 and they're going out to left field. But if you do that at Kaufman, that's a 260-foot.
Not anymore. Bobby got the fences moved in for you guys. Not anymore.
It's a 260-foot flyout. So just kind of being more real with yourself rather than buying into like the false results of things. And really just not being so result driven. I think that's kind of also what shot me in the foot. Vinnie said it best last year to me. He was like, it's a process driven game, but a results based business. So to kind of fall in love with the process more so than chasing stats, chasing numbers, I think that's when, kind of like the stars will align and balls start finding more gaps.
Wow, that's mature for a guy so young. I mean, that's a mature, very mature answer. You mentioned Vinnie. Vinnie's Captain Italy. I don't know what have Captain America. Bobby's Aaron Judge is Captain America. What is Vinnie? What do you call Vinnie for?
Like Captain Paisan or something.
There
like
you go. New nickname for Vinnie. I asked him earlier when we talked to him. There's been some trash talking. Wacha, Bobby, you guys play each other coming up in Houston. Is there trash talking yet? Has it started?
Not yet.
Not yet, because Wacha said he punched your ticket the other day.
He punched my ticket on 3 pitches.
Oh, so
yeah.
See, it's starting.
I took a cookie curveball right down the chute. Not looking for a curveball first pitch from Wacha. I was looking for that parachute changeup. Ended up getting the parachute changeup the second pitch, swung right over it, and then painted heater on the black away. And that's just – he's Michael Wacha for a reason. I'm just tip your cap.
He's setting you up. You know that for WBC, right?
Yes. So trust me, that's back pocketed for sure.
If you face him in WBC, you got to be ready for the first pitch high school curveball.
100%.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
So you just got – that's the process.
It's already logged in.
Okay, good. That's good.
All right, last year you were a rookie. Did you do a good job of singing on the bus?
Not really. I didn't have time to prepare, to be honest with you, and I had to sing Pink Pony Club on the bus.
Do you know that song?
No, I had the lyrics.
And you have to sing the whole song? Because
I sung like 45 seconds before they cut me off.
Wow, I had never even heard that song until he probably doesn't even know who Adam Amin is, but Adam Amin is the guy I work with on Fox all the time, our play-by-play guy. And he's also a DJ, and I went and watched him in Chicago, and he played that song, and I had never heard that song in my life, and it came on, and there was probably 500 people in this little bar we were in. It went crazy. So the fact that you had to sing that,
yeah,
I wouldn't even know where to start. Even if they gave me the real lyrics, I'd be like, what?
That's how it went. I remember I looked at Lorenzen when I was singing. He looked at me, and he was like, "Don't look at me." I just started looking down with the mic in my hand.
Any other good bus stories from last year as a rookie? They put you in the bathroom ever? You wouldn't even fit in the bathroom.
I did. It was me, Noah, and gosh, there's another. I'm trying to remember who else was on our team. We were playing trivia. We were in Seattle, and we ended up losing trivia. It was about Seattle, and I don't know a lot about Seattle. And we had about 15 minutes left of the bus ride, and there were 3 of us. And Noah's not a small guy either, so we were just crammed in a bathroom for 15 minutes.
Listen, you're from Florida. We don't know a lot about Seattle. Florida, Seattle, you can't get much farther away at all. So when I have to fly to Seattle, I'm like, well, I get my 6.5 hours of rest on this flight.
Yeah.
So in fact, that wasn't fair. Whoever called you up and made you answer questions about Seattle, that wasn't a fair fight. All right, before we let you go, we want to show this for everybody so that we know that I was not lying when I said this, but you have never looked better in your life, and that will forever be on the UAB baseball website forever. That there he is, the biggest Blazer.
Did they put that on there?
Oh yeah, of course they did.
Oh, great.
It's Tolbert, of course. I should send that to Sully and be like, look, Sully, we've converted him.
That's awesome. That was a true, genuine smile as well.
By the way, your favorite volleyball team? Is it what? Atlanta Vibe. Okay. His fiance played with my daughter in high school, Kratz. If that makes you feel old or young, however you want to put it, they played together in high school. And
you're way older than me. I'm totally fine with it.
So anyway, yes, they played together. Now Ellie is a professional volleyball player. My daughter has quit volleyball and just decided to go to Florida for the education. So yes. But Jack, thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. Nothing but the best.
Thank you.
Have a great season.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, that's what he said.
That's what he said.
That's what he said.
That's what he said. Hey, That's What He Said is engineered by Fastenal, where industry meets innovation. Oh, we've got good ones today. So we're going to start with Aaron Judge bringing up some pointed comments about the offseason for the Yankees and how he was pissed and then it took a turn. So, Judgy, take it away.
It was brutal. I'm like, I see a lot of free agents out there. I see a lot of guys that, like the Bellingers, the Grishams, the Goldschmidts, like, let's sign these guys right now and then start adding more pieces, because I'm seeing other teams around the league get better. They're making trades. They're signing big prospects or big players. And, we're sitting there for a while, kind of making smaller moves. But, it was tough there in the beginning. But I think once we solidified getting Bellinger back, we got Trent being our center fielder, be our leadoff guy for another year. And then you had a guy like Goldie, some of the back end, bullpen pieces that we've been doing. I think we're being in a good spot. But the early on, it was pretty tough to watch. So I'm like, man, we're the New York Yankees. Let's go out there and get the right people, get the right pieces to go out there and finish this thing off, because we got a special group of players here. We got a good core, a good young core. So it was frustrating, but I think we're right where we need to be.
Did you express any of that to them?
Yeah. But they took care of business. I've voiced my opinion about a couple of guys, and Bellinger being one of the guys that he just adds a dynamic to this team that we've been missing for quite a few years. So excited he's back.
Wow. You usually don't get that from him. He was bringing it. And then they even asked on the follow-up if he made his opinions known, and he did. I'm proud of him. I mean, Kratz, you can go first just because you played with him. I mean, you know how Judgy is. He usually doesn't give you much publicly, but he was like, yeah, I was pissed. I'm in my prime. Bring it. But then he was happy when we got to the end of the offseason. I mean, Yankee fans feel like they're running a similar position player group back, but I do want to make that part clear, because I think some of the headlines were like, Judge pissed about offseason. No. You got to watch the whole clip. That's why we played the whole clip. He was pissed in the beginning, voiced his concerns. They were like, we're good. And then they did what he felt was satisfactory. Oh, hold on, Kratz. We got the mute action again. We got gremlins. All right, AJ, you go.
I mean, listen, good for Aaron Judge saying this. But at the end, again, like you said, Scott, he was happy. They brought all the boys back together. They brought Bellinger back. And, hey, they'll make another run with this squad, add Garrett Cole. Bullpen's a little bit different than it was at the start last year. But, hey, Aaron Judge got what he wanted. He got Bellinger back. He got Goldschmidt back. And we'll see what this team can do with another year under their belt.
Do you like that a player makes a phone call like that? And do you think that it matters?
Depends on who the player is. On who the player is. If your 26 guy calls the owner or the GM, it doesn't matter that much. But when someone like Aaron Judge has won a bunch of MVPs and led the league in homers and done all these things, it matters.
All right, Kratz, you want to try? Otherwise, we'll reset you in a sec. Oh, yeah, you're good. Go ahead.
The fact that knowing Aaron Judge not as a public figure, as a teammate, gives me a different view of him. You don't hear this from him, but that was like honest, normal, everyday Aaron Judge. Like, he's one of the guys. He wants the team to be the best they can possibly be. And exactly what he said was so true. We're the New York Yankees. And he was not saying, people who are like, oh, he hates the moves that were made. It's not at all what he said. He hated the fact that there was dudes going off the board. That was like, that guy could help us. What other guys can we get to help us? Like, he's looking through a lens of, how can the Yankees be the best they can possibly be when I'm on the team? And I kind of even hinted at it. He's like, well, we got Trent Grisham for another year. That's, he would have probably liked somebody that's going to be there for the next 4 years while he's still there for the next 4 years. But I think Cashman's done a really good job through Aaron Judge's tenure of trying to find guys that they feel are valuable and then going to get them. This offseason, there just wasn't that big, never been a Yankee type of signing for them. But they did bring back a guy who is a huge piece and I think was one of the most versatile pieces in the free agent market in Cody Bellinger.
Yeah, so you sum it all up, and Judge seems like he's okay now. I like that he's comfortable in his spot, so he can go right back to the Yankees and be like, hey, what are we doing? Do I think it actually made a difference? No, I think they had their game plan in place, and it takes time to sign these guys. And by the end of the offseason, they got to what they wanted with Bellinger, who obviously took a while. It took almost the entire offseason to figure that out, but they did.
And he could be nervous. He could be nervous. Like, he was honest. He could have been nervous during that time. Like, holy crap, I just see because right before that, you see Bregman, I think it was right before that, leave Boston and go to Chicago. He's like, if we don't get Bellinger, who are we going to get? So, yeah, I love that he was being honest that he was a little nervous at a certain point.
And now here we are. Judge back in camp. Looks like also, just real quick, last thing on the Yanks, I mean, Cole might pitch in some spring training games. He's not going to start the season, but he might get some action later in spring. Rodon looks like he's on a good pace. So they might quickly have a really nice rotation in place. That was, I think, the biggest concern. I don't think anyone has regular season concerns with this team on offense, but with the pitching staff, you're like, hey, how many guys are they going to be down early on in the year? It sounds like it won't be too bad for too long. Things can change. Spring training just started, but good to put that out there. All right, so that's what he said, and it's engineered by Fastenal. Fastenal, industrial supplies, innovative solutions. Want to learn more? Visit fastenal.com. We're ready for our next interview. Here he is. He led Major League Baseball in saves last year. Carlos Esteves joining us right now, the Royals closer. Carlos, great to have you here on the show. Thanks for joining us. How's camp going for you so far?
Man, it's going good, getting back on track, getting ready for the season.
They have planes like this in Dominican?
Well, we hear something like this, but not these often.
I had to take my earpiece out so I could hear you because we had fighter jets flying over again for like the fifth time today. Do you ever stop yourself when you're in PFPs and they start doing all the tricks?
Oh, yeah.
You just watch them?
Yeah, we do watch them. Whenever we're doing conditioning or something, they start going, you stop by and just watch them.
By the way, I saw y'all's conditioning this morning. Do you consider that conditioning? Y'all ran like
how much different it is.
Y'all ran like 5-10-yard sprints. They were all the pitchers walking, Ragans and Lugo. They're like, oh man, we ran 5-10-yard sprints. We are so tired.
It was a light day, let's say it like that, but it is completely different. Oh my God, you remember how it used to be, man?
Oh, poles. They used to run poles and run for distance.
Yes, all the time, man, all the time. Remember the mile?
Oh yeah,
yeah. Those were good ones. Those were good ones.
How much better is it now?
It's a lot better because they got a lot of that. The science, what can you do to use your muscles better? What do you actually need? We're going into the field to pitch all the stuff, and sometimes you still miss it to get the body moving again and all that stuff. But at least it's not 7 days a week anymore.
Where are you at this point in camp? Where does the closer get to? Because everyone's like starters, they're working up, they're throwing an up down by this point. Some are going to WBC, so they're doing they're doing this and that. Where are you at this point?
Right now, I got a live BP coming up because I gotta get ready for WBC too. So I threw a few bullpens already, getting off the bump to face hitters tomorrow, and then from there we'll see.
When do you go?
On the 28th.
And you guys go where? You go where?
Dominican Republic. We go.
You train in Dominican?
We go Miami. We're gonna go Miami, and we train on the 1st, and then we fly the same day to the Dominican Republic. We got a practice day and 2 games there, and then we come back.
Okay, so you got a lot of travel.
Yes, a lot of it.
So you got to be ready.
Oh,
ready. Are you the closer for Dominican?
I wish. I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully.
I forgot who's the manager.
Albert Pujols.
Oh, so Albert, you gonna go to Albert and say, Albert, listen, man.
I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna show up. I'll be ready for whatever. Hey, Albert, man. I mean, come on. He has an idea what he's doing, So I'll see. We'll figure it out.
How important are those 2 games, those 2 exhibition games you're going to play in the Dominican? Just because you get the whole team together. I was an Aguilucho. I think you played for the Toros. Were you a Toro?
Yeah, Toros, yeah.
Okay. So are you going to play those games in Santo Domingo? And how important is that for you guys and the country of the DR?
And it's going to be so cool. It's really important because the way that they go about the WBC team, the country, how much they support us it's really cool that we're able to give them back that a few games, the exhibition games, so they still in the mood of WBC mood and just having our backs. It feels really cool, man.
So the DR hasn't won since 2013.
Exactly.
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
I mean, the U.S. at least won in 2017, so we can't make as much fun of the U.S. as we can the DR. What does it mean? What did it mean, and what does it mean for the DR if you guys were to win again?
Oh man, it'll be amazing because the competition is just getting crazier and crazier. They're more of the other teams too. Venezuela is looking a lot better. You got Puerto Rico, United States, Japan, and it's like there's a lot more competition. And if we can step up and win it, that's going to speak volumes of what a small country, a small island can do in this giant of a game and business that is baseball.
Hey, Carlos, I saw a recent podcast that you were on, and I just want to commend you for telling some stories that I think really hit home for people. I think because the pod was in Spanish, so I just want to bring 1 or 2 things up from there. Yeah. And I think this one would really hit home with our audience. And our guys will like this because I didn't tell them this beforehand. Can you explain what happened when you had a showcase, a tryout for the Pirates, and how one person really affected you one way? I don't want to like bring out the tears or anything. I mean, hey, do what you got to do. But I think it's so important. We have so many players that listen to this show, and that story is wild. There's a low to that story and a high. So if you don't mind sharing.
Yeah, man. Right there, we were talking about a tryout showcase. Sunday morning, I had to show up like at 7 a.m. That's basically my only off day throughout the week, and I show up to the Pirates complex. Whatever, we get the whole day just waiting. The showcase starts like at 10. They moved me down a few times because I was an older guy. I was 18 and a half, an older guy doing tryouts down there. And when I got to the mound, I got ready. I'm throwing. All I have was 90, 92. And I was doing the same, just throwing strikes at 90, 92, throwing my pitches. And the director stops the tryout, and he's walking towards me. And I think he's going to tell me something good, like maybe an adjustment.
Hey, you're going to sign me. You're going to sign me.
And he comes in, and he had a bad choice of words to tell me. I don't know if I can say it live.
You can on here.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, it's YouTube only, so you're good.
He basically said, who the hell brought this basically shitty player here?
Really?
Yeah. I'm like, whatever, dude. I just walk out. I went back and sat, put my running shoes on, and dude, I was 18, almost 18 and a half already. And man, I had tears on my eyes. Like,
yeah,
damn, dude, this.
You think you're doing pretty good.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm throwing strikes.
At that moment, I was like, I'm done with baseball. I'm not playing baseball anymore. And then I put on my running shoes and I ran 10 poles. That's what I used to do. And I went and ran 10 poles. And actually, my agent, basically, the guy that was they call it Buscone, but for us, we call it agent down there. when I was with my head down, sitting on the dugout, he taps me on the shoulder and he tells me, "Hey, get up, go run. Anyways, you're gonna play in the big leagues. Who cares?" And that, dude, I get goosebumps every time I talk about that. And after that, I signed a few months later, and here we are.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's a great story, because you never know. Every one of us has been told you can't do this.
Yes.
But to hear it like
Yeah,
that,
man.
and then your agent.
That one got me good. That one.
Yeah, more people need to hear that. Because
Yeah, it was
everyone goes
kind
through
of
ups and
it was a
downs.
breaking point right there. I was like, I'm done with baseball. I'm all 18 down there is really old nowadays. And back then was still like, if you were not 16 and you were not good enough, you were not gonna sign. So for me, it was rough. I mean, but I was ready to go to college and be done with baseball.
What were you gonna do? You go to college? Where and what would you have studied?
In the capital, I was gonna go into college to study. I was gonna be a civil engineer.
You're gonna build bridges.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I was going for.
Roads and bridges.
Yeah. I mean, good thing they
Listen,
have
people
to.
that have been to the DR, they need some roads and bridges.
There
down
you go. That's,
every once in a while.
Honestly, that's why I was that was my main focus. I was trying to do something for impact the community or something like that, and I thought that was the right way outside of baseball.
You can still buy roads and bridges now with all your money.
Yeah, that's
you
right.
just don't know how to build them as good.
Exactly.
Now you have to hire somebody to do it.
Yeah, that's right. I have to now.
Hey, there was another one from that combo, and Kratz will like this. He's Mr. Philly for us, and he played for the Phillies. Obviously, you did too. I heard there was, a hot dog that lost its way.
Oh yeah. It's funny because I was there with Colorado, and Ian Kennedy was pitching. I'm warming up. If we take the lead during the game, and McMahon is here, and he's playing third for, like, he's with the Yankees now. And at the time, he was kind of struggling with, fastballs and stuff, but he was hammering breaking balls. And I tell our bullpen catcher, like, hey, get down. Like, if he throws a curveball in the zone, we're going to take the lead. And you know how the fans in Philly are. They're always paying attention to what you do. They're always paying attention to the game. And they saw me saying, like, doing the signs. And right away, man, curveball, like, man, hits a homer. We take the lead. And the people in the bullpen were just, dude, that's bullshit. Like, you're a pitcher, you jinxed him. So they were on me crazy. When I was walking down the steps, there was a kid. He couldn't be older than 13, 14, man. He was like, oh, I hope you fucking trip and break your arms. So I stopped.
Whoa.
I'm like, damn, all right.
You're like, where are your parents
like,
at?
Dude, yeah.
Where's your mom and dad
come
at?
on. I just walk away. Did what I had to do. The next day, I'm warming up, doing my bands in the bullpen, and I think it was I don't know if it was a day of like $1 hot dog or something like that, but there were a lot of hot dogs flying over there, and I got smoked on the back of the head with a hot dog. I knew what it was, and those fans around there are always the same, and I was like, all right, good sport, all right, whatever, my bad, I got you. Next time I'll see you. And then when I got traded to Philly, the story came up. Someone brought it up, and I said like how it happened. And they loved it, man. They were going crazy about it. It was so funny.
Welcome to Philly.
Yeah.
You got an early taste of Philly.
There you go, man.
Should have taken a bite of the hot dog. You showed them.
But yeah, that's right.
So it's not always just the fans that give you a hard time. Can you tell us the Troy Tulowitzki story about how he kicked you out of the weight room and then and then you got a little bit of revenge?
Dude, I was squatting in the clubhouse, and I didn't know that was his corner. But back in the day, a lot of the other guys had their stuff. I don't know if superstitious or whatever, but I was working out on that corner. I'm squatting, and
so wait, hold up. So in this weight room, he had like a corner that was only his that he could use.
I don't really know because that was my first year around them.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So I walk in there and I see he sets all his stuff down there, and I'm just lifting. I don't know what's going on. And he walks in. He goes like, "Hey, the big leaguers are about to hit the weight room." I'm like, I kind of didn't understand at the beginning. It was like, "Oh, okay, this is spot, all right. I'll see you," and just walk out, whatever. Jaspy, the trainer for Rockies, he was talking, giving me shit, whatever. I'm like, okay, next time I see him, I might go in. I'm moving fastballs, like I'm attacking him. I ended up walking him because of how much I wanted, to get him out. I ended up walking him. I think I went in. I don't check swung or he didn't swing. I swear I thought I broke his bat. I think I didn't, or something like that. But I know I ended up walking him of how much I wanted to blow that fastball. Yeah,
you wanted revenge.
Yeah, and then after that he retired. I'm like, come on, man. I wanted to face him again. So
you wouldn't hit him though.
No, I don't want to hit him. He's just getting him out. Yeah, exactly. I'm not on that side. I just want to get you out.
Getting out is much worse than, trust me, as a hitter than getting hit. As someone that got hit a lot, I'd much rather get hit than make an out, break a bat, all that stuff. All right, you have one of the most iconic closer celebrations. So where did you learn is that Street Fighter?
No, Kamehameha, Dragon Ball Z.
See, I don't know what that is. I was going to say Mortal Kombat. What's Kamehameha?
Kamehameha. It's like a final attack from a Japanese anime.
Okay.
That in the Dominican Republic we grew up watching that. Yeah, there you go. In the Dominican Republic we grew up watching that all over, and then I played for Anaheim. They have a giant Japanese community, and we were trying to bring something to celebrate whenever we finish. And since we had a good Japanese media and everything, I brought out that celebration because the owner of Dragon Ball, he died on 24, at the beginning of 24, and I just started doing it, as a thank you for what the show always showed us, the resilience, like, the hard work, all the stuff is reflecting on that show to me. And I decided just to start doing it because of the bullpen guy, Manny Del Campo. It was like, man, you watch Dragon Ball, we did too. Japanese people here, they love it. They're gonna like it if you start doing it. Now it's sticking around. It's gonna stay.
You can't get rid of it now.
No.
Now it's stuck.
No chance. Yeah.
I mean, it's not I don't know if it's the Fernando Rodney, that shoot the arrow.
Yeah, that was cool too.
I mean, I wish I knew. I wish I would have known that. That makes the story even better.
Yeah.
With this, now you got Rex Hudler up there every game going, come on, that is so funny.
I got one more for you, Carlos. I know you've been pitching well with the Royals, but did they have to do you like that and bring the fences in coming up this year? When you saw that news, we were like, guys, come on.
I mean, if I'm telling you I didn't really mind it, I'm lying, because it was a huge park to pitch at. But at the same time, I don't think it will make a difference on the gaps and all this stuff. But at the end of the day, I still get to pitch and adjust. I pitch on the road on smaller fields, and I still gotta make the adjustment. I just gotta get used to it, man. And it's just the big leagues. You gotta make the adjustment with whatever you get thrown, and you just gotta be ready and make sure you're ready to show up and compete every day.
And by the way, you pitched in Colorado.
Come on, bro.
I mean, they bring the fences in 10 feet at Kauffman. It's still way bigger than it was in Colorado.
Yes. Oh my God, yeah. It was crazy out there, man.
Oh, Carlos, you're the man. Thanks for doing this. This was really fun. Fans will love hearing those stories. We'll put them up on socials and all that too. Hope you enjoyed it. Good luck the rest of camp. We'll catch you during the season, okay?
All right. Thank you guys for having me.
Thank you. Carlos Esteves, closer, led baseball in saves last year. Big year coming up. Hey, we're back, and we're going to, we're live still. We're going to let everyone know Out of the Park Baseball 2027, which is one of my favorite games out there. What? What was that?
I thought we were live, but I'm in a box, so I can't get out.
Yeah. You've been trapped there. But we will let you out soon. I'm sure we have some type of trip coming up soon. But anyway, Out of the Park Baseball 27 launches worldwide March 13th. I'm an avid fan of the game. It can be pre-ordered today for 10% off. We'll put a link in the description of the episode later on. But we also have a brand new trailer from them.
In baseball, there are two constants: the greatness of the game and of the players. Legends live in Out of the Park Baseball 27. The brand new edition of the renowned baseball strategy game enjoyed by fans around the world is here. The 27th edition of the only MLB licensed PC strategy game is a baseball fan's dream come true. The newest and biggest version of Out of the Park Baseball is packed with loads of features and improvements, including all new advanced stats tracking. Changes the game forever. Play the real World Baseball Classic as it happens. Out of the Park Baseball 27 is here. The Infinite Baseball Sandbox. Available March 13th, 2026.
And we're back. AJ, want to bring in our next guest?
Does he need an introduction? Do we not know who this guy is? This is
only for the podcast crowd because they can't actually see him.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. Podcast only. Also, Bobby Witt Jr., superstar of the Kansas City Royals. And now I read an article today. You're going from the bench to a big player on Team USA in the WBC in a couple weeks.
Exciting, yeah, exciting times for sure. Just like because I was there last year and got to witness everything that happened. Got in a couple games, but now it's like you
were like a pinch runner, right? On the
I got in there. Yeah, I got some pinch runs in there, and but yeah, it's just how much it means for USA and just not only baseball but the world, just because Olympics going on too. So it's kind of like a perfect timing for this to happen, and so it's going to be a lot of fun.
Did you sit when you weren't the star on that team? Did you kind of just sit back and they treated you like, hey, Rook, just go sit in the corner and we'll let you know when it's time? Or did you learn from what we're doing, or did they include you in all the stuff?
Oh yeah, I was included with everything. Those guys in there were unbelievable. Trout, Mookie, Goldschmidt, Arenado, all those, just the list goes on and on with just perennial all-stars, and just being able to be there. I was trying to absorb as much as possible, try to be a sponge in there, but also be a fly on the wall, because I know they got to go out there and work. And so, but it was special just to be a part of that. And yeah, I learned a lot from it too. And then now I'm able to kind of go out there, and now we really got to bring back gold.
You better get that gold. I'm just saying.
I need to know about, we talked to some other guys too about this, but is there a text thread that you've already had or that you continued to have from that WBC, or did that kind of get washed away and a new one's going to start?
Yeah, the more so the new one has already started, and so started I feel like a couple weeks ago, and so guys are fired up and ready to get after it.
Wacha said there wasn't much on it.
I'm in the position player one, so yeah, we got more texts in there, and so yeah, guys are fired up, and Schwarber in there firing us up, so we're ready.
Who texts the most? Is it Schwarber? And you're younger, so do you want them to make it a Snapchat thread? Because most like my kids, it's all Snapchat. Like you text them and you're like, oh, I see you on your phone all the time, and I never get a text back. So yeah, is it Schwarber?
I think it's more so guys are going to start getting – I don't have everyone's number saved yet, just not knowing some of the guys who's texting whatever, but I got like Gunner's number, a bunch of younger guys, and guys who run the last WBC team. And so, yeah, I got probably half the number saved, but yeah.
You don't ask?
I don't.
You don't ask.
I don't want to do that. I feel like I'm not.
Who's the 352 really, number?
Yeah, no, yeah. I'll get in there. I'll look up. All right, what area code is this? All right.
And you try to guess.
Yeah.
You don't want to put the wrong thing in there.
I know. Yeah. And then I look up where they're from. I'm like, I don't know. Yeah. I'll just wait until.
You just ask.
Yeah, I might have to.
New phone. Who dis?
Yeah. Who dis? 20 whatever text messages. All right, who is everyone? So maybe I have to do that.
Okay, that's amazing. What are you most excited about for WBC? Is it just putting on the red, white, and blue, representing your country? What does that mean to you? Because we just talked with Carlos, and he said, what'd you say, 13 guys from the Royals are on WBC
Yeah, I think
teams?
13 throughout the whole organization. But, yeah, it's just, like, pretty cliche, but it just really just means more representing you got your name on the back of your jersey, but you're representing to what's in front. And so that's how I always try to play the game. But whenever you see USA across and wearing the red, white, and blue and playing the national anthem for the game, it gives me chills.
I'm glad it's come to mean a lot more than what it did when it
100%,
first started, which is awesome. And
especially
the Olympics.
And then winning got silver last time, so it's just like you got some. I don't say there's really any pressure, but because pressure is a privilege in a way, but it's gonna be awesome.
Now your dad was on the Olympic team. What did they place when he was on the Olympic team for Team USA?
I'm pretty sure it was silver or bronze. I know he has the Olympic medal. I can't remember what it was. I know it wasn't gold, but
is it silver or is it brown?
I can't. I brought it
because that'll tell us.
Yeah, I brought it to show and tell when I was in like elementary school and like kindergarten. So I can't remember from there. It's sitting on the show. I'm pretty sure it's silver. Now that I don't know. Sorry.
Are you the same? Would it be cool if you were the same number as him? Because then you both have Team USA jerseys. I know you have your number for the Royals, but did you ever think about doing that or something cool like that?
No, I never really thought of that. Last WBC, I was number 15, and then kind of growing up, I think I wore 17 on the 18U USA team, and then now I'm pretty sure I'm 7. And so that
he's got his own number. Kratz, by the way, he's got his own number now. He doesn't need his dad's number anymore. He's got his own number. And
I wore his number growing up, 36.
Okay.
I was like,
that's more of a pitcher's number than a shortstop.
I want to be a shortstop.
Yeah, totally. So fast guys can't have 36, by the way. Would you play in the Olympics if they did it?
Yeah, I think that'd be really
Was it
cool.
28, I think, in LA?
I love, growing up, I always watched the Olympics, whether it was winter or summer Olympics, and I just thought it was really, really cool just to kind of see that, like I said, get to represent your country on a bigger stage. And so
would you be okay if you if they stopped the season for 10 days or whatever it was for guys to go play for their teams and then come back?
Yeah, I know just with the hockey they do but I think hockey already has a longer all-star break already, and so but I don't really know how it'd work. So but yeah,
it's perfect in that it's in that all-star break. I mean, you might have to move the all-star game away, or I don't know, whatever. I'm here for it though. I'd love to see USA in the middle of the season whenever all the pitchers are primed. You get the best of the best. Japan, all the guys that go to Japan, Dominican with Carlos and that team, whoever it is, it would be an incredible exhibition and spectacle for the game of baseball that we love.
And it's in the USA, so it'd be cool too.
True.
All right, since you're the face of the Royals, Salvi's going to be pissed, but Salvi's career is almost over, and they finally moved the fences in. Do you feel like you were the final straw to say, listen, guys, we need to move these fences in? Because Salvi complained about it back in 2014 when he and I played together there.
Yeah, and whenever we had our Zoom call kind of saying everything, I know someone was saying, I wonder when Moose and Haas are going to tweet out something, whatever it is, just whenever those guys are kind of get online, Gordo and all those dudes. But yeah, Sal, everyone was excited. But I knew we were going to have the Zoom call, so I kind of texted everyone, like, hey, we may, more so for the pitchers, hey, we might be having a call about the fences being moving in. So if that happens beforehand or whatever, just don't be shocked with it. But I think everyone was good by it. It's not nothing crazy, but obviously it's
those 10 feet turn sac flies into homers.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
But they turn triples into doubles for you too.
That's all right. Okay.
You're fast enough still.
Well, here's another change for this coming season. Bobby, you're going to be able to do this. Last year, if you did this, and I know you didn't do it, you would get kicked out of the game. I'm tapping my head. But this year, it's a real thing with the ABS challenge system. So here's my question. I mean, I've been covering you for years. You're definitely a very humble guy, but you're a superstar in the sport, right? You're the guy on the team, and you're the guy where they save one of those challenges for that 8th inning AB where you think you might have gotten squeezed and you need to use it. Do you feel like you need to go through spring training and get used to being known that, like, hey, we're saving these sometimes for you? No offense to the 8 or 9 hitter in the 4th inning, but it could be a huge moment in the game, and they're going to want you to do this, and it's no coach involvement. So that's my question, is I feel like there are other superstars in the game too that are very humble, but do you recognize, like, they're saving those challenges for you sometimes?
Yeah, I think it just comes down to the situation, knowing what's right, and then being 100% with it if it's a ball or whatever it is, and just trying to figure out to know the zone, how well you know the zone, and then really practice it either spring training or there's ways to do it with the TrackMan or whatever it is in the cage or whatever, and just try to really just hone in on knowing the zone, but know what a strike is, and then know what's not a strike really, and just actually too just talk to some of the younger guys who are in AAA up and down that have dealt with the ABS and everything, and just get to know their knowledge, talk to the AAA hitting coaches, talk to the AAA coaches or whoever, and just get to kind of feel it out with
a star
them.
Like you talks to the minor leaguers?
Oh yeah.
No way. I can't believe that, Kratz. Can you believe that
he would talk to the
minor league?
He goes there to find out. He's like, what were you guys doing down there? I barely was in the minor leagues. I don't really know what that is. But honestly, we promoted you as a superstar. What do superstar hitters work on in the offseason? What did you need to work on this offseason? Because we ask pitchers all the time, this guy, he's working on a new changeup grip. I'm not going to tell anybody. What did you work on this offseason?
Yeah, I think it was just to try to be as consistent as possible, try to limit those highs and lows as much as possible, and just try to get better and better each and every day mentality. And so, but taking it one day at a time, that's kind of how I went through the off season. But then you want to simplify things as much as possible, just because pitching is getting better and better, but then also know that you got to get better. So whether it's getting stronger mentally, physically, but also just trying to stay as consistent as possible and go through things in the off season that make it harder than the game. So whenever you feel like, all right, your swing's off, whatever it is, all right, what's off? What did you do there? And then fix it in the off season. So whenever it pops up in season, you know what you're doing and know how to kind of get back on the track where you want to be.
Are you ever jealous of anybody that does something in the off season, in the sense of like, dude's come back to spring training, he put on 20 pounds of muscle, and you're like, I lifted every single day. How on earth did I not put on 20 pounds? Like, is there anything you look at other guys and you're like, oh man, what? I was trying hard.
Yeah, I've always going in off season, oh, you want to put on weight, and then I put on weight, and then it's it's the same that I've always been, and I feel great no matter whatever it is. And so this off season, just try to eat better, sleep good, make sure I'm mentally in a good spot, and then go out there and kind of work hard the way I've always done, and go to the place I train at and just get through a healthy off season and then see kind of where I'm at. And I feel really good. I feel strong, and just being able to kind of stay healthy for 162 plus games. That's the ultimate goal. And it starts kind of back in November when I start training.
What about the base running, Bobby? I know last year you said that was a big focus for you. And I think stolen base percentage wise, it was either a career high or it was up there. So do you feel like you made strides the way you wanted to, right? You're supposed to be your harshest critic on all of that. How did you feel that was for you? And what are you thinking coming into this year on that front?
Yeah, I thought it was better, and there's always, like you said, always room for improvement, but just figuring out little things to my starts or whatever, my jumps, that's what something kind of did more in this offseason, just can I get faster on that first step, and then use my kind of natural given speed and let that kind of take over. But then just really just being able to, you get more comfortable just playing baseball, and I feel like each and every year you get more comfortable, you get more confident, and you get better with your routine. I think that's what I've done, defensively, offensively, and then base running last year, and then I still think each one's going to keep getting better every year until, I don't know, who knows when.
I don't know how you practice base running in the off season, but
just more reactive drills, those type things, and really
the F1 racers that drop the sticks. And
exactly.
See if you can do
little
that.
Things like that, just with things flashing, tossing up a different color ball or running reactive stuff against another guy, chasing a guy, whatever it is, and just trying to, and then always timing it and seeing if you're getting better throughout the off season. So it was good.
Kratz and I let you chase us, but you'll catch us too fast, so we can't. That wouldn't be a fair fight for us. All right, before we let you go, I know you're a big baseball card collector. Do you have all your cards?
I got.
And is there one that you haven't got that you really want?
There's my 1-of-1 Superfractor of the Tops update, but I'm in contact with the guy, and that will complete the rainbow of all my rookie cards of the card I'm looking for. So that's the one.
So then that brings me to the next question. Then, what does that person ask for? What do you offer? Because I'm sure they're probably hey, give me $1 million. You're like, whoa, let's slow down here.
More so trade because I'm not gonna ever sell the card, so I'm I got a bunch of cards that I've bought. Let's work out a trade. I'm gonna bring you come out to Kansas City, get your jersey, whatever it is, kind of make it something special, something memorable for him, but then also put him in a position where he's going to be good for whatever he needs.
Okay. All right. That's good, because I don't even know because people ask me all the time, hey, do you have all your cards? I'm like, no, but I know you're way more into it than I am. And a lot of the younger MLB players are way more into it. Yeah. Matt Strom, obviously, you and him can talk for hours, I'm sure about that since he's come over. I don't know how that works. Do they DM you on Instagram or Twitter or whatever and say, hey, Bobby, I have your 1-of-1. How do we work that? I don't know.
Yeah. So I have a card account. It's called B-Dubs Cards that I'll go and look through the DMs and see, or click through them and see, oh, this guy has one of the cards I want. Let's see if I can make a trade, or I'll send it to another guy to reach out to him and kind of third party it or whatever. And so just try to make it easy and efficient.
Well, good luck. They have USA cards coming out?
I know they did it the last time, but it was the following year, so I'm assuming they will.
Okay, and will they do all the refractors?
Yeah,
and all that stuff?
Yeah, should be cool.
I'm gonna get one. I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna try the Paul Skeens 1-of-1. I'm gonna try and get the Bobby Witt 1-of-1. Then I'm gonna hold him hostage like crazy for that thing. I'll be like, no, I want 10 signed jerseys and 20 signed bats.
Oh yeah.
daily FT appearances. No, we wouldn't do that to you. Bobby, thank you so much for joining us. Enjoy camp, the rest of camp, and then, of course, the WBC. We're super excited, and thanks for sharing some time about how that's all going to look. Appreciate you, man.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. That's Bobby Witt Jr., Kansas City Royals. All right, Kratz and me here. Kratz, former Royal, by the way. So this has been fun so far, talking to a lot of different KC players. We got one or two more that will line up, and then we'll still talk about the Pablo Lopez news, which is significant, and we'll do another segment or two in there as well. So a lot to do. And Kratz, we're going to go right to our next conversation. So Michael Wacha, I feel like sometimes he almost gets forgotten, but do not forget about Michael Wacha. ERA hanging in the threes for years now, 60 starts in the past 2 years. Definitely going to hear about that. So Michael Wacha time.
In surprise, Arizona, surprise, it's my ex-teammate and Cardinal great, not Royal great, Michael Wacha.
What's going on, AJ?
How are you?
All good, man.
Yeah, how's spring training going so far for you?
Yeah, no, it's been going really well. What are we, about a weekend with the pitchers and catchers?
How's the like?
Yeah, got my first live in under the belt a couple days ago. Just one up, but everything's bouncing back good. Feeling strong. And
any punchies?
One punchy, yeah.
Who was it?
Yeah. Caglianone.
Oh, no. Was that revenge for the basketball game a couple weeks ago?
Yeah, for real. Yeah. Freaking need A&M to finish strong here. Let's go.
All right. Well, when do you pitch in a game? Do you know?
I've got another live on Thursday, and then it's 5 days after that. So I guess the next Tuesday.
And how do you ramp
up? A week from today.
Since now you're Captain America with Bobby Witt. Let's wait for this plane to go.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Right next to the
jeez.
It's our first plane delay.
By the way, the Raptors are flying over.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
But now that you're Captain America, you and Bobby Witt, how do you ramp up for the WBC?
It's actually going to be pretty similar. Just talking with Sweeney, our pitching coach here in KC, and with Pettit and DeRosa with Team USA, just kind of what they expect from me. Whenever those games start up, we kind of went back and forth on where I would be and build up wise, and everything is pretty much within a couple days or so of where I was kind of last year building up for the season. So the ramp up is going to be very similar. Nothing expedited, I guess I would say, to get ready for Team USA. Everything's going to be kind of on schedule. So I'm excited that it all worked out, and excited to get out there with those guys for sure.
You went back and forth. What does that mean? You guys were arguing?
What was that?
Oh, I said you guys went back and forth. Does that mean you guys were arguing?
No. There was just conversations with Pettit on and DeRosa on what they kind of needed for me, and then finding a schedule and ramp up with Sweeney, and then going back to them. But no arguing. A lot of support from the Kansas City guys here, which is awesome. You hear of some other organizations that don't really support their guys and stuff, but these guys here are great and want us to go out and represent the Royals, represent our country, and something that I'm very excited for.
The Royals have always been good at sending prospects, but also they always want to support the international baseball part of it. This is your second time wearing a Team USA jersey, correct? You played in college too, right?
That's right. Yep. I was part of the USA collegiate team as well. But it was something very cool there as well, and never could have imagined kind of doing it again in the pros. But excited for the opportunity to put that USA jersey on again.
Do you still have the other jersey? Will you have will you have one next to the other one when you're done, like framing them side by side, or do you have any idea where that jersey is?
Oh yeah, that jersey is at my parents' house. It's all framed up, and we'll find a spot for that new one for sure.
When you So you said Jack Caglianone, Vinnie are on Team Italy. You're pitching for USA. Do you know if you're starting or are you going to come out of the bullpen for USA?
I mean, I don't want to give away too much of our strategy and stuff,
that's
but
kind of why I asked,
I've got
because
some.
You said you
a few
punched out
innings,
Caglianone.
Yeah.
Right. So you guys play here in not that long from now, about 3 weeks. Italy plays USA in Houston.
Yeah.
Do you show them your repertoire in early BP before you actually might have to pitch against them when it counts more?
I know that. No, there was definitely a little strategy going into that live because Vinny was part of that live as well. I ended up walking him on 4 straight, or maybe 5 pitches.
You should have just hit him in a spot where he's just a little sore,
just
so he remembers it instead of you don't want to hurt him, just kind of maybe in the thigh area, so he has a little mark and you can say, remember that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, get off my dish type stuff. But no, it'll be cool to see those guys as well. Maybe pass on a few scouting reports to the guys if I am not facing those guys, I guess.
If you're not, that sounded like a little bit of that might have been a little bit of a hint there. I like it. Well, but so I know you're not going to get into strategy, but does it matter? Because it's still basically spring training for you. As long as you get your innings, does it matter if you do it as a starter or coming out of the bullpen?
Right. I think there's definitely an opportunity where I am piggybacking, another starter.
Skeens or Skubal
early on, where
Logan Webb, one of those guys that are pretty good.
Right. Yeah. No, it's a stud lineup for sure. It's pretty cool. Yeah, looking at all the guys on the roster, and a lot of talent. I'm glad I'm not facing our roster, our lineup for sure. So looks like hopefully we put up a lot of runs.
Is there a text chain or anything? Is there a group thread going around for Team USA yet?
There's a little group chat. Not too much going on in it. Just some a little something here and there, I guess, on some planning, getting to Houston and things like that. But no, I imagine those things will start getting fired up here pretty soon.
Does Judge give you his number? Does he have to? You have to go through somebody to get to Judge.
Yeah, I do not have his number. Never met him before, but obviously I've played against him for years now. But glad he's on our squad.
Is there anybody on the team that you haven't played with, like an Aaron Judge, that you're like, I kind of would like to see him for like 2 weeks? Not that I want to face him, or even if it's a pitcher. Like if there's a guy you're kind of most intrigued about on Team USA.
I mean, I would say there's a lot of guys. I've crossed paths with a few guys in different areas, I guess, throughout my career and things like that. I think it'll be awesome to see Bobby again out there for sure. But Judge is one of those guys. Harper, Skubal, Skeens, Webb. Those guys are some studs there. Cross paths with Joe Ryan and Garrett Whitlock. It's a lot of studs out there, and so just excited to talk shop in the clubhouse and see how everybody kind of goes about their business, getting ready for the season and getting ready for games. Something that you don't normally see whenever those guys are with their normal club. So it's something I'm definitely looking forward to.
When you see Joe Ryan, if you've watched Stranger Things, just say, man, that life. He turned into the bad guy quickly. I mean, but he came back at the end, so I was proud of Joe Ryan. If you've seen,
I've never seen it.
You've never seen Stranger Things?
No.
I think it's season 2 or 3. I think it's season 3 when they're in the mall, and he looks like one of the main characters, and he just grew a mustache.
Okay.
And he I
feel like he's got a stash every now and then.
Yeah, he does. He does.
Yeah.
He looks very similar to the guy. I don't know what the guy's name is, but
he is a character. So,
he is a character also. If you talk to him, very true. Your Kansas City career has been great so far. How proud of you are after the way it started in St. Louis, right? 2013, you had all the hype as the young kid, the young stud, and then some injuries, some things kind of going off the rails, and then here you are. I don't want to say resurrecting because you never went away, but you just came here, and these last few years you've been great for the Royals. So how proud are you of all the work you've put in to get to where you are now? Yeah, no, it's something that I definitely am proud of. Those early years in
in St. Louis had taught me a lot. And I feel like I take a lot of those things that I learned from those guys in St. Louis and carry them on till this day. I had a lot of great mentors, a lot of great veterans there, like yourself.
For those 3 months I was there?
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, the Wainwrights, the Holiday, Yachty, Beltran, multiple Carpenters. There was multiple guys that I was able to take stuff from on how to be a better baseball player, how to be a professional on and off the field, and try to soak all that in. And yeah, like you said, had some good years there. Had some injuries, some tough years, but just always stayed true to myself and just kept working my tail off in the off seasons, knowing that I could get back to competing out there the way I know I can. And so just had some, I guess it was kind of a crazy 6-year stretch there with 6 different teams. Just kept signing 1-year deals with different squads, and was able to find a home here in Kansas City, and was able to, this will be my 3rd year here. I've had 2 pretty successful years here with getting to the postseason in 24, and then just kind of missing out there in 25. Just like you said, some injuries type stuff kind of held us from getting to where we wanted to be. But building off of these past 2 years in Kansas City, I feel like we got something special here with the guys in this clubhouse, and looking for a big year here in 26, getting back to where we know we can be.
You've done well in KC, but they're moving the fences in. Did they consult you pitchers about that? Because I know some ex-Royals hitters who are like, what? We were saying that for years, and now they're going to move it in? Like, did they consult you guys, or are they just like, whatever, dudes, wear it?
Yeah, no, it was just a message in the off season saying that, hey, we've got a Zoom call with the whole team and staff, at a certain date. And, I thought that was kind of weird. Didn't really know what was going on. And then Bobby kind of sent out a text to the group chat saying that, the word is that the fences were moving in. So yeah, there was definitely no consultant on on the pitcher side of it.
Bobby, because Bobby has a huge contract. So they're like, Bobby, you want the fences moved in?
Yeah.
We'll move the fences in for you, Bobby. No problem.
Yeah. Salvi was like, hey, I've been telling you all this for how many years to move this in?
By the way, why is Kansas City in Missouri? Has anyone ever asked you that?
I mean, it's just on both sides. Yeah.
The main part is in Missouri. I think it'd be in Kansas. Have you been to Kansas?
I live in Kansas. Yeah. No,
Okay.
it's kind of like my hometown, Texarkana, Texas, Texarkana, Arkansas. There's a state line there as well. So it's kind of familiar territory for me where I grew up.
Before we let you go, I asked you. You brought up Wainwright. Did you think that Wainwright would end up in TV, and then did you ever think that Wainwright would end up being my partner on TV?
I could see Wainwright on TV for sure. Okay. I feel like he talked about it quite a bit on his kind of post-career on what he wanted to do. I know he's very talented, just whether it's music. I know he's getting albums out there, releasing albums, country music.
Have you listened to
one? Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Good? I haven't listened to one.
Yeah, a little Hey Y'all,
I've heard that because he plays that all the time in the booth. Like that's his warm-up to get ready for the game. So
that's fun. Yeah, you should get a little show up there every now and then. But I know just comedy like SNL. I know he would love to host that one day. He always talked about that. But yeah, just very talented guy. I knew that he was gonna do some big things, after his playing days for sure.
All right, Michael. Thank you. Appreciate you joining us. Have another great year and go Royals.
Let's go. Here we go. Thanks, guys.
Hey, we have an MVP candidate that was part of the show today in Bobby Witt Jr. So we figured let's look at the AL MVP candidates on the BetMGM futures in terms of where the trends are swaying. Highest ticket percentage belongs to Roman Anthony, the Red Sox rookie. Highest handle percentage, as in where's the most money flowing, not just each particular bet being placed. That's Judge. So 35% going to Judge. Anthony's the biggest liability. and Judge is the odds leader at plus 200. Look at Roman Anthony getting a lot of love, AJ.
At plus 2,000. Can't hear AJ right now, but they'll get him back. Plus 2,000 for Roman Anthony. It was enticing for me, that's for sure. But I just put it down. He was just on the show. I just put down plus 500 for Bobby Witt. I feel like there's the base running aspect that you brought up with him. Like there's some value there that he's always been up there in that conversation. An incredible year by Aaron Judge. If it wasn't for him, if he was in the National League or if he was in the American, whatever it is, Bobby Witt's always there. I feel like this is the age, the time, the team built around him, a little bit different. This is the year, Bobby Witt, MVP.
Agreed. He was going to be mine. He was going to be mine, but here's the problem. And I've said this and whatever. If Cal Raleigh didn't win it, hitting 60 homers as a catcher and playing every day, getting his team to the postseason, if Aaron Judge just goes out and has his normal Aaron Judge year, how do you beat that? And I think Bobby Witt could be a guy that could do it. And after talking to him and learning about what he's done and seeing him, I think, moving the fences in, whatever, but his defense is so good. His base running can be so good. He can hit homers. He can hit for average. He can do a lot of things. So I think he has a chance, and he's not even on there. But Roman Anthony, that's a lot of pressure to put on a young guy. I think Judge, Witt, and there'll be someone else from the outside that comes in and jumps in that conversation. I don't know who it's going to be because I don't think anybody would have said it would have been Cal Raleigh last year. So there'll be someone else. But, yeah, Judge and Witt would be my two.
I think it's become such a war game, wins above replacement.
So
it does give Bobby a good shot because he's an all-around guy, right? The defense, the base running, the power, the everything, right? You name it. He's got it all, and I think that helps because it's an all-encompassing stat. It certainly helps Judge, but it should help Bobby too. So if he has one of those years where it's front to back and there's some more pop, which could happen with the fences moving in, then maybe this is the year for Bobby. Yeah, I like that play as well. All right, let's look at what's going on in the NHL. Yeah, NHL because they're playing in the Olympics. So you've got the Winter Games hockey odds boost that's flowing right now, and it's already been dropped into your account. If you haven't played yet, no opt-in necessary. You just add a Winter Games hockey bet up to the specified maximum state that's in the BetMGM app, or stake, not state, to your bet slip, then activate the token. If you win with that token activated, you get extra winnings. Gambling problem or concern? There's help. Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Last big news story of the day that would often lead the show. There's been a lot of news today. The Twins hope they're being cautious with Pablo Lopez, who exited his live BP early with elbow soreness. Derek Shelton, their manager, said Lopez would go for an MRI. That's the tweet from Dan Hayes. I will add to that with Aaron Gleeman's tweet from a few hours ago. He said, Pablo Lopez has a torn elbow ligament. Surgery is very much on the table, according to Twins general manager Jeremy Zoll. Gleeman said if surgery is needed, Lopez would miss the entire season. AJ, this is absolutely potentially devastating news for Pablo and for a Twins team that I didn't think, and most people didn't think, were going to be good. But, I mean, can they survive without their first or second best starter, right? It's Joe Ryan and Pablo Lopez.
They weren't going to survive with him. I don't feel like we've talked about it. We don't think that they're going to be that competitive this year with him. To lose him, though, I mean, injuries suck. That's an understatement for Twins, the Twins fans and the Twins organization, and Pablo. I just feel like this is why, there had been trade talks about him and Joe Ryan and things like that. And if Pablo has to miss a bunch of time, man, it's just now it's at least another year. Then you got to get him back, and he's got to prove he's healthy. Oh, this stinks, man. But you know what I feel most of it for? Pablo Lopez, because he's such a good guy and he works his tail off and he's just a great interview and a great human being. It just sucks to see guys have to go through this. And we're hoping for the best, but not sounding like it's going to be the greatest news.
I would definitely say there could be something else from this too. Most organizations, you lose a number one or number two, got to scramble, got to find out who's on the free agent market. Does this put the hopes of winning the amount of games that they wanted to win? They say they want to still be competitive. Obviously, it's my opinion that they're not trying to be competitive. Does this mean they're like, all right, completely scrap it down? We lost one of our top 2 pitchers who they could have traded at some point anyway. Or does this say, no, we cannot get rid of Joe Ryan now because we need somebody once every 5 days to be that consistent veteran in the rotation?
Well, they're not trading Joe Ryan yet. They're going to trade him at the trade deadline because the new executive chairman is delirious. I agree. You are taking a risk, but he doesn't
not trade him now. You get more value.
I know, but I know you played for the Pohlads, but we're like generations down at this point. So now it's Tom instead of Joe, and he is running shit, and he's more involved.
Why not
he's
trade Joe Ryan now?
I agree.
Why not trade Joe Ryan
they should have reset if this was how they were treating things. They acted like they were going all in again, but they didn't do anything. Tom Pohlad has openly said again and again now, because he's being more public. I give him credit there, but he's like, we were pursuing Framber Valdez. So apparently they were pursuing Framber Valdez, but nobody else even close to that ilk in the free agent game. So it was just Framber or bust, apparently. So if that's the case, first of all, Lucas Giolito on line 1, any other starter, Max Scherzer on line 2, you should just rack all those because combined they'll cost less than Framber Valdez. But I mean, he went on the record as either I think it was today or yesterday, and the reporting out there is brilliant. You guys know Dan Hayes is great, Aaron Gleeman's great. They told him, and others, they told him about the over-under for the Twins at 73.5, and the owner was like, "That's ridiculous." Is it?
No.
I mean, they won last year.
Probably close to that number.
They traded away their whole team. They traded away 10 guys at the All-Star. They traded away 10 guys that were good players last year. So they didn't bring in 10 new guys.
We give a hard time to teams who don't land free agents, but they say they're in on them. Part of that is like the Pohlads need to understand you create an environment where players want to go to. You create an environment where you're like, I want to play with that guy. They had that. They brought in Carlos Correa, and then they stopped playing. They stopped playing in the free agent market. They stopped spending. So maybe they were in on Framber. Maybe there was somebody else we didn't know about. But woe is us. We couldn't get him. Create an environment of where somebody wants to go. And you know what? The money that you're supposedly going out there to spend or not spend, they'll accept it because it's a place where people want to play.
This is bad. Yeah, this is why if you're taking a direction where you're not really competing, and I think that it was made clear, even if the owner's being delirious right now, then you do trade your assets. So feel terrible for Pablo. We'll get more updates as we go along here. But, I mean, the Twins season is just devastating right now. So, all right, let's try and bring some positive vibes back to the mix here. I think this Royal team's going to be good in the American League Central. And one guy who I think is going to pitch a lot more for them and is feeling a lot better is Cole Ragans. So let's get him in.
Back here in Surprise at Royals camp with stud pitcher Cole Ragans for the Kansas City Royals. And I just want to know, have they appointed you opening day starter yet?
No, they have not.
Why not?
That's above my pay grade.
You need to go talk to Q right away?
Yeah. Oh, man. No, they haven't said anything yet, so we'll see what happens.
How's the rotator cuff, shoulder?
Yeah, everything's good. I feel as good as I ever have. You know, made the 3 starts at the end of the year, so kind of clear conscience going into the offseason. You know, feel as good as I ever have.
How's the velo? Everyone wants to know, how's the velo on the
so
iPad when you throw your bullpens?
I haven't thrown my first lives on Thursday, so you know, get the adrenaline, get a hitter in there. But bullpens, it's been solid. It's, you know, I think we're in a good spot.
Are you an iPad checker guy? After every pitch, do you have the coach and it's like, hey, look at your verb?
I mean, I'm not going to say I don't check it, but I don't. I mean, I'm looking at a lot of stuff on there, so. You know,
what's the one thing you look at? It's not.
I look at release height a lot.
So you want to be higher or lower?
I just want everything to be pretty same.
Like
the same.
Cluster, right?
Yeah. So like if my fastball is a 6'3" release height, I want my slider to be there and not like dropping down or because I've had tendency to do that in the past. So it's making sure everything's coming out of the same slot.
Can you feel it when it's not? Are you like, oh yeah, this was definitely lower, and then you look at the iPad and it's half an inch lower, a full inch lower? Like, what's the discrepancy?
Yeah, I think when I get extreme, like a couple inches, I'll feel it. But sometimes it's just like, you start looking at like just with your eyes the movement of the pitch. You're like, that was pretty good, and then you look and your arm slot's not the same, and it's like, well, that's not going to work. So
by the way, you can't tell that much. You can't. I mean, I know that people say, "Oh, he drops his arm," like unless it's like from here to here, like this little bit of like from here to like here.
Yeah,
it's really hard as
well. They say like within 2 or 3 inches, I think, is fine. So it's just trying to keep it within that window.
Cole, who's they? Who's they? Is it people that have had an electric arm or have actually stood in the box against big league hitters, or the they who read the iPad and have never thrown a baseball?
It's like my pitching coaches and stuff. I trust them pretty good, so just kind of see what they have to say about it, pick their brains about it. I mean, obviously I have a good idea of where my stuff should be, but just kind of bouncing ideas off each other.
All right, well, this is the time of year where everyone's like, oh, what's the new pitch grip? And you're talking about the iPad. Have you tried anything new this offseason, or because of, the health issues that you had a little bit last year, is it just stay healthy and be my dominant self?
Yeah, it's more so just stay healthy. I haven't added any new pitches. I've tinkered with like my slider grip, just trying to get, consistency, throw it a little bit harder, not as much depth on it. But other than that, pretty same repertoire.
Do you go sweeper or do you go slider?
No, just like a gyro.
No, there was a guy named Dice Cage though, gyro, and it didn't do anything. He used to get whacked, so you don't want to.
No. It's like I'm just wanting like a little bit of movement, something
you want more vertical, right?
Than like just something. Yeah, I don't want like this. I want more. Yeah. So, and a little.
Tried a sweeper?
I tried it 2021 or 2022. It worked for my first live BP, and then I could never throw it for a strike again, so I banged it.
That's smart.
Not good.
One of the things you did, you went to Tread to work on some like post-pitch, post-outing recovery stuff. Is it stuff that you already knew, and now that you're like, all right, I'm just going to actually lock into it? Or is it actually like something new that you're like, okay, I feel the difference when I'm doing this, but I'll see what happens when I take it into the season?
Yeah, so like a week after the season ended, flew up there, did like a mocap, threw off the mound, and then did like a movement assessment. And basically the movement assessment, they call them correctives. And it's basically, you have this, 12 to 15 movement stuff that you do. You can do it pre-lift. Like I use it as like my warm-up before I go out to stretch and throw. And it's basically just like, some of it's ankle mobility, some of it's like T-spine stuff, shoulder stuff. Like it's basically, whatever it's tailored to me on what I need. So like coming off of, the shoulder thing last year, it was, let's get some range of motion back in the shoulder. My ankle mobility isn't, great. So it's like working on that a little bit, some hip stuff, things like that. Basically, and you just kind of, some of the stuff's pretty weird, I guess you could say. Like when you first start, you're just kind of like, what am I doing? But in the end, it's like, you start doing it a couple months later, you're like, wow, I can actually notice that this is, helped me.
Did you take time off?
Yeah, so I take 2 weeks off from throwing.
That's it?
Yeah, 2 weeks.
The whole off season?
Yeah.
Gosh, it's crazy.
I like to do that because then I get to like ease myself into it. So it's like, first couple weeks, I'm at like 60, 75 feet. I'm not throwing any off speed. Like I'm just, I might mix in some change ups, but I'm not really throwing many breaking balls. I'm just kind of like nice and easy. And then that way I can, start moving back slowly, and it's not like I don't feel rushed. And then, you got bicep barking or something like that.
Who catches you?
I play catch with, like when I'm throwing pins, or
just in general. Who plays catch with you? Your dad play catch with you?
No, Cole Sands with the Twins.
Okay, yeah.
We grew up together, so we've been throwing.
Well, he's not catching your bullpens.
No. We have a mixture of guys. There's a couple pro ball guys. There's some guys up at FSU that'll,
Where you live?
Yeah, I live in Tallahassee.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah.
The interview's over, guys. Interview's over.
All right, AJ's out for the rest of the interview, Mr. Gainesville. So let's bring in Mr. Whatever. What was your school, Kratz?
Eastern Mennonite University. You know it. You know it. Everybody knows it's a powerhouse. But no, what's the longest you ever took off? Because we just had this conversation the other day. What's the longest you ever said, I'm not throwing a baseball? Not because of injury, but because of, like, it's just time. It's time to take off.
Yeah, so, like, right after I got drafted, I would take off till, like, the beginning of December. But then the older I got, the more it was like, I feel like I'm, like, kind of flying through this. Like, every spring training, you know, my arms, like, achy, kind of barking because I've kind of had to, like, fly through the throwing program a little bit in my standard. You know, everybody's a little different, but so then I just started to kind of, you know, starting a little earlier, take a few weeks off and kind of ease back into it. That way, you know, the arm kind of stays moving. You know, it gets a little bit of a break, but then it's like the arm stays moving. I feel like for me, like the longer I take off, then it takes longer to, like, figure out mechanics and, you know, all that kind of stuff. And I didn't like how that felt.
Cole, I'm curious, how often does the team check in with you during the off season, and what are the conversations like? They making sure you feel good? Are they going over anything that you're working on? Who do you talk to?
Yeah, so I talked to Sweeney, our pitching coach, a good bit. You know, we'll shoot texts back and forth, have some calls. Like this year, there was a minor mechanical thing we were working on. So, like, I would shoot him some video and, you know, ask him, like, how does this look? You know, I feel like I've, you know, made a good stride, and we just kind of, like, talk about that, run through that kind of stuff, because we had been talking about it at the end of the off season. So I'll shoot him video, you know, every other week, something like that. We'll have, like, a phone call probably, you know, 2 or 3 times in off season, but usually just shooting texts back and forth.
What's your least favorite part of spring training?
All the meetings.
You got another meeting coming up soon. So.
Yeah. A lot of meetings. So,
you fall asleep?
Players?
No, I don't fall asleep.
You should. It works better.
No, I go to bed early in spring training. I'm in bed at like 8:30.
Everybody does.
Yeah. No, it just.
And you got to be up at
6,
6:30, whatever time it is.
Yeah.
Are you a napper? Cole, do you nap? One of the things that I always said, guys go home from games and then they take a nap, and then when the season starts, people will be like, what? They take naps? But the season starts then, and you're like 4:30, your normal nap time during spring training is like BP. Are you a napper in spring?
So every now and then I am, but I try to, like, fight through it, because if I take a nap, then I'm not falling asleep that night. Then I wake up the next day, then I'm tired, and it starts it all over again, and then you want to nap again. And I try to just avoid it, like, whether that be just, like, get up and, like, go sit outside or something. I don't know. Just try to stay awake.
Naps are the greatest thing. I know I've tried.
I love them, but
I tried to eliminate them. All right, before we let you go, we had Vinnie on Team Italy. Not going to get into that. I want to know now, since you're a Florida State Tallahassee guy, do you and Jack trash back and forth?
No, not really, because I didn't go to FSU.
I didn't go to Florida, but that doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, kind of hard to. It's kind of hard to talk trash. I mean, FSU's got a really good baseball team. Football teams, you know, beat Alabama, and then it just kind of went downhill. So that was tough to watch.
You sound like my wife who went to Florida State too.
Yeah, that was tough to watch. Thought we were going to be national champions for a second, and then everybody got humbled really quick.
It all came crashing down.
Yeah.
Hey, Cole, last one. I know it's early in camp, but can you just throw a name out pitching staff-wise? I mean, it could be a young guy, too, who's not even ready yet, but anybody that we should keep an eye on this spring to watch when spring training games start?
James McArthur. He's been hurt for a little while, but he's back, and he looks freaking good. So pumped to see him face some hitters and get in the game action.
Yeah, it's been a minute. Okay. Yeah. I like that. Good name. Well, Cole, thank you for the time. It's good to see you. Enjoy camp. Stay awake during the meetings, and we'll catch you during the season.
Yeah, appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Thank you. Royals were awesome. We've got to do our thank yous here during Slap. Witt, Wacha, Ragans, Estevez, on and on. Jack Cags. That was fun, man. Really good stuff.
Yeah, it was great. The Royals were awesome. The one guy that keeps eluding us is Salvi, and Salvi just drove by and waved and said, "Hi, Kratz. How you doing, Kratz?" He didn't really say that, but no, they were awesome. Listen, all the interviews we did were amazing. The Royals were very hospitable and were very nice. And yeah, it was a good first day here in Arizona. I wish it was about 10 degrees warmer. But other than that, it was a beautiful day and it was great interviews. I mean, Caglianone, Vinnie, Cole Ragans, Estevez, Bobby Witt, Michael. I mean, who else do you want from the Royals? What a day. So thank you, Kansas City Royals. Thank you for surprise. And we'll see you tomorrow from Goodyear and the Cleveland Guardians.
That's right. We're getting to Guardians camp tomorrow. We'll show you the calendar on the way out here. Foul Territory Spring Training Tour engineered by Fastenal. Thank you, Kansas City Royals. Guardians, then A's on Thursday, Dodgers on Friday, Saturday with the Mariners, Sunday with the Rangers. I'll give you one little. Monday with the Brewers. The rest, if you're listening on a podcast platform, then check out the show on YouTube. Or again, we'll post this today on some of the other social accounts as well. So you can see what the calendar looks like. A couple weeks in Arizona, and then those last few weeks in Florida as the WBC starts. We will see AJ and the Cleveland Guardians tomorrow.